Welcome to the Salty Dragon Tavern. Pull up a chair, grab a drink, and come watch us play some Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons is a great game. I don't have a drink.
Sorry, we're a bit late. I got a drink. I got this weird sort of
best shit ever.
Koyomi.
Plug.
Look, like I have like one player at my table and another one sort of like too busy being ADHD and playing a game.
He's updating D&D.
He's on D&D Beyond.
Ow.
He's being so brooding because there's not as much light on him as everybody else. So, hello.
All right, we'll do some updates for the.
Yes,
sorry, as always, we have our 20 minutes because we started a bit late, hopefully, but knowing everyone else, because they're arriving late, we might have to go a bit longer. So yes, if you are watching this or you're watching the VOD, skip ahead maybe half an hour and then you'll actually start playing D&D. But for the time being, we like to have a bit of a chat, talk about D&D or just general stuff that's going on in our lives.
Indeed. I had my birthday recently, as people are aware, and a customer at my work gave me this nice little dice bag. And I'm really happy with it.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's all crocheted and nice, and it opens up, and it's far too large for the dice that I actually have.
Clearly you know what that means.
Clearly you need more dice.
It holds
Exactly.
like this much is my dice. The rest is just surplus real estate. But I'm really, really grateful to Tasha for the wonderful gift, and now now all my dice have a really pretty home.
Hey, I didn't know there's passive intelligence for investigation and passive wisdom for insight as well.
There's passive for everything. It's just you only actually need those things most often. Like if you...
So passive is 10 plus modifiers.
Yeah.
I mean...
It's a good way of doing things.
Yeah.
If you get hit by a trap, it would be passive if you haven't seen it.
It's just another tool. It's not so much that there's a hard rule, because it goes against the inherent what D&D was about originally. People, DMs especially, just struggle utilizing it because they're just not used to it. But it's actually a really good rule because what it is that
it's your take-10 effect.
It's not just that. That's just a translation of rules to help with it. What it actually is the fact that if something's about to happen, I don't have to say roll me a perception check or roll me this or roll me that, which then inherently everyone metagames. So if I have all of your passive stats in front of me, I know exactly what you are, and I can basically just say based off your passive if you get triggered by a trip or a trap or anything.
And then you can just tell us to roll like a dex save or whatever.
Something like that, yeah.
Or what's Rayleigh's passive insight? Holy shit. 15s.
If somebody were a really skilled spellcaster and I had a really high arcana, and you're in a situation where there's a magical thing, you can just point to them and say, you notice, based on your schooling, that this magical effect is potentially, or you notice based on your schooling that this could be a magical effect, and they were like, oh really? Well, I'll investigate it then, shall I?
It's when they start, actively investigating and stuff like that. That's when you get the rolls.
Exactly. When you're paying attention.
But like to think that the no people that are in chat at this present moment of time.
I don't care. I have things and stuff, and I enjoy spending time with my friends, talking to myself.
They look cool.
Yeah, spooky. Oh, rabbit.
I feel like the legs. I'm in the naughty corner.
Yes, we have an Alice right here. I just put my hand on her head, but she's eating, and so people who are eating go in the naughty corner because we can't eat on stream unless it's really tasty.
Unless it's really tasty, yeah. I have no idea. After all, I could even get a fork. I didn't actually use it. I thought I might. But because usually when the pie is just too hot, it's like you've got to use a fork. But it wasn't as hot as it could have been. You know what I actually probably need, because this corn is actually quite cold, is my jumper. Put it back on.
I can't help you, I'm sorry.
Eventually.
Don't do that.
I'm sorry for all of those who are watching this going, what the hell are they doing?
I can start speaking gibberish again.
You don't?
I'm being weird.
Being wrong.
Because everyone's being quiet, so
It is.
I'm,
A lot of the people are like
so-
here, and I'm always just like setting stuff up.
I'm making noises because there should be sound, or else what are the points of all these microphones? So I'm going to make noises,
That's a very good point.
and they're going
I'm
to be my
trying to
noises.
not make noises because I'm eating.
And so I'm going to obscure your noises with my own.
Should I put some noise in for it? Let's go with the town.
Oh my god, this town's rather busy, isn't it? Hello,
I'm surprised
people.
you didn't put something more melodramatic on.
I could do that. It's
You
just
might
have to be
fail.
like, you know.
Yakety
How
sax.
about? Let's try this.
I'm running through a wilderness, and my heart's beating a mile a minute. It's a beating so hard, the audience can hear it.
I wonder how well it could be heard.
I think I'm being followed.
We'll only know when we have viewers.
Oh yes, you're back by the studio. You hadn't already entered.
Yes, but I may swap spots with you at some point.
So,
Being next to the speakers, if it bothers me, I might need to move over.
we can angle and this way a bit more if that helps.
That would help a lot. I'm that weird person that listens to headphones at like 30% volume because that's loud.
But those monsters. Oh. Message. Aww. Yeah. No Mick.
Disappointment.
It's okay though. He can take the
Let's go
time
with
he
the
needs.
abandoned lunatic asylum.
I'm sorry? Can we not? Where would we even find one of those? Hello? Do you mind? I'm trying to not go insane. Are they saying where are you?
Do you want to play?
No. I don't.
I used to like creeping people out with little girl voices. That sounds really disturbing, but still.
Who told you to play piano? When we're in the mood, Alice. God.
That's what I get for eating too quickly.
It's okay.
I'm just getting into character, you know?
Fair enough.
Alright, let's go to the high seas.
Oh! Is it gonna be shanties? I love shanties!
I don't know. Let's play it.
Shanties are the best.
Cannons?
Those aren't shanties, they're cannons.
I want shanties. I like shanties.
Incoming!
4! Hey!
Come on,
I
Chris.
imagine this is what the Salty Dragon Tavern's music is like.
That's actually probably very close to it, yes.
Yeah.
Sounds like good music for...
This is the music we met to.
It sounds like appropriate music for opening credits.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah. This, in theory, would be the music that our band of miscreants met. Except for you, Rory.
Yes, I know. And Valkyrie as well.
Oh, yeah, Volky. I keep forgetting you died.
That hurts. Someone.
Well, isn't it just like...
And of course,
Because Volky is not as prominent a character.
That's fair.
And Yoland, although left a huge mark, was also quite a reserved character too.
Oh, Timothy. The way you look tonight. It is intoxicating. Come, dance with me. Ooh la la. Oh, the things I would do to your hot sausages.
I mean, what?
let me speak the language of my people. Un café con leche Montanoil, ut azúcar, por favor. Can I have latte with one sugar?
No.
That's what you say at the cafe!
That's right.
Yeah!
You learned that just for LARPing, didn't you?
No, I actually have.
There's a cafe around the
There's a
corner.
cafe around the corner.
Oh.
Where one of the girls who works there is Argentinian. And then I've also got another woman who works with us who's Colombian. So essentially all the Spanish with those slight differences here and there. So I got one of them basically teach me how to order. One from work teach me how to say what I needed to say to order a coffee from when I went to talk to the Argentinian.
That's awesome.
It took me a few months to actually remember it. Now that I remembered it fully.
I know a few phrases in Japanese and Croatian.
And it's very language is very important because I made that mistake when I went to Italy last time. Sorry, the very first time I went to Italy, because I went to when you go to a cafe in Australia, in Melbourne especially, if you go up to someone and say latte, they know exactly what you want. They know you want a coffee that is a latte version of a coffee with whatever sugar you want into it. If you go up to an Italian cafe and say latte, they'll give you a glass of milk.
Because it's milk. We here interpret latte as coffee with milk.
Exactly, yeah. But yeah, latte is actually the
It's
Italian word
technically
for
cafe latte.
cafe latte is what you actually need to say to get a proper latte.
So, did you get a glass of milk?
I got a glass of milk. They looked at me very strange, and I went, okay, whatever. And then they put down a glass of milk in front of me and went, now I understand what I did wrong. I went, well, fuck it, that's my own fault. And I had a glass of milk, but it was actually really refreshing. I went, this is actually the best mistake I've ever made. A lot of fun.
I just yesterday had a really nice encounter with some French speakers. They came in interested in playing games. I said, yeah, you can do that, but we're closing in an hour. So they went, okay, sure, we'll just have a look around, and then we'll come back next time. They checked around, and as they were leaving, they were all like, bye, and I said, ooh. And I thought, I know what to do. I said, bonsoir, as they were leaving.
Bonjour.
No, bonsoir,
Oh, bonsoir,
which means that's mine.
Oh shit, what? Okay, which one is not yours?
I don't know. The one that's also mine. That is also mine.
What?
That's Tim's.
Yes, can you please pass it over?
Oh, and that's mine. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I said that as they were leaving, and I was all like, oh yeah, that worked. I glanced over my shoulder at the guy as he was leaving, and he had glanced over his shoulder and was just giving me this kind of like, nice man. Like, as he was going down the stairs, and I went, oh, I've been acknowledged by a Frenchman for speaking French appropriately. This feels so good.
Yeah.
I have some interesting things to say about France that I will keep off stream.
Aww. Why is that?
Look, honestly, I think there's a certain amount of every country has its bad in people, and depending on who you talk to, what bad you get. Like, I know us Aussies.
No, some was good, some was bad. Unfortunately, No, I didn't like Paris very much. I loved countryside France.
From what I hear, Paris is not very nice.
I did Paris for a few days.
It is a very dirty
was nice,
place.
actually.
It is very dirty.
I guess it depends on what you're looking for, I guess. Like, I absolutely love Rome.
Okay, so here's the hardest thing.
You're just putting the thing right in front of your camera.
Yeah, I know, because I'm trying to work on this.
He's
Here's
trying
the
to get his
hardest
character
thing.
going.
What the hell am I putting as a background?
Oh, you're a orphan.
No.
No. He's talking about your new character.
Oh, I didn't know that was happening today.
Sailor.
He's trying to min-max it, so Sailor won't work.
I want something that actually has a bit of flavour, but doesn't mean I have to run around and sing sea shanties the whole time.
You don't have to. Sailor just means that you spend time on a ship.
Yeah,
That's true.
we're working on a ship.
You could literally be, I hate shanties. And it could be because you were a sailor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got tired of sea shanties because they sang them all the time.
I like the idea of going a religious type for the fact that I just went undercover as one to get into a nunnery to sleep with nuns. I do
He has
like
a background in religion, yeah.
that.
I told you you'd like it.
It's almost worth doing.
Wait, which one?
He basically has
Background
a
in religion just so
background
that
in
I can
religion.
sneak into a nunnery, bullshit my way in and sleep with nuns.
So he actually has he's actually got proficiency in religion for no reason whatsoever as his character. It's only because he needs to know all sort of rituals and stuff like that.
The ways to sweet talk his
the way
way
sweet
in.
talking, that's right. And so the as if he's there. He's kind of like doing the wedding singer of religion.
Oh my god.
Or just so we can pretend to be a god. A god in mortal form.
There was probably no.
I don't even know what's available as background, so I've got to actually look at them.
There's so many.
Yeah, I know.
There's a lot.
And even then, they're not subjective to. That's the only things you can choose.
Yeah, because you can
They just
bastardize
suggest-
your own, can't you?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you can be whatever you want as long as it makes sense.
Just make it as part of your character story. Like,
Yeah, but there is mechanical changes based on it.
You basically just get a couple of extra feats and.
which Tim can homebrew if you really want to. Like, what's Amber? Amber is
A
in...
pencil, that's what I need. Someone pass me a pencil.
I think I'm an Outlander.
Because they're in my bag, that's why.
Nobody is home. We are all busy. We do not
We
need
do not want you, Swan!
we do not need extra company. Oh, hello, Ash. She's okay.
I think knocking like monster.
What? We didn't hear you.
Knocking continuously.
I'm sorry.
Welcome.
Just us.
Someone's had a haircut.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Decided to not look at the walkie anymore.
He had a clown fro before.
I'm aware. I'm pretty sure he's aware of what I have.
Clown fro.
So
Next to Chris, he just moved the chair over because Chris is Chris.
yeah, because he likes to kick me out of the spot. That's what he does.
Can you actually while you're there, pass my phone, so it's just not in the way.
His as well.
Yeah. This suits me really well. Actually, trying to stay with.
You know, it's kind of jazzy, isn't it?
I have the cameras on.
Yeah, it is.
The camera's
Yep.
on. Except you're in kind of a bit of a blind spot there.
Oh, sweet.
No, right there, you're perfect.
Yeah, you can dance. You
Alright.
highlight right
No,
there.
actually, that's the blind spot right there.
I was going to say, I didn't want to be in the blind spot. People should see my shame.
Oh, I'm
You
a
do
guild
that.
artisan, that's right.
Yes. And I am a hermit.
Michelle.
Because I chose the default background for a druid. It's being a hermit. But it works for me.
I make some very funny faces when I'm thinking.
Oh yes, drinks of course.
It's been a very long day. Hi, Wilhelm.
Alright, we've got absolutely no one in our chat at this present time, so we probably need to spread the word.
Yeah.
With our Lord and Saviour.
I suspect Matty Morgs might come and jump in at some point. And do a raid, but that's about it.
I hadn't yet gotten the chance to do my weekly.
Let's try
Fuck off!
Let's try a different. Let's try some.
What? My phone tried to ask me to do the talky Google thing, and I
It
wanted
was
to
just
go
amusing
away.
because it was exactly as Tim started talking. It's a foul!
Sorry, it wasn't at you. It was at my phone. I'm very temperamental at technology.
Do you want a cup?
We have a very complicated
Yeah, I would.
relationship.
Hey King, how you doing, man?
Hey! Why have you lost your soul? Did you sell it to Satan again?
Again. You should sell it to Satan for $5 so you can get some
Don't finish
water
that.
expanding dinosaurs.
Thanks.
Can I make a personal suggestion for next week, by the way, for food?
What?
Puffy dogs.
You get an extra workout though.
What's your suggestion?
Puffy dogs.
What's that?
Or pigs in a blanket, as more people know it. It is little sausages wrapped up in pastry.
They're so good. They're like mini sausages and
You
pastry.
smother them in cheese and they're even better.
So
They're so delicious.
a sausage roll.
No. I hate sausage rolls.
roll is not an actual sausage, it's mixed.
This is like little frankfurts.
Oh, okay.
Little frankfurters.
Little fasters. Oh, I just realized.
Little frankies.
It's time for the Jazzy ASMR Hour with me, Rory.
Oh god, Rowan doing ASMR.
Alright, everybody. We're gonna go for a walk into the wilderness and see what we find. Alright, guys, let's go.
Man, exercise. Good luck to you. Sounds like work to me. Sounds like effort.
We need to use
Hey,
this music
not all
the time
exercise is
pre-game.
effort and work. When you enjoy it enough.
Should I move this up just slightly because it is in camera? Is it? Yes, sir.
No.
We never got
No.
a chance because you're never here, so we never got a chance to sort of.
I'm never here. I'm here. No one else is.
I know.
So we have a chance now.
We should use...
It's not actually in camera.
What is that
But
then?
neither is your face.
Yeah, I don't care about my face. No one wants to see my face. No one wants to see my face.
We
I
should...
want to see your face. I
So-
think it's lovely.
We should
One
use...
person wants to see my face.
We should use this royalty-free music pre-game every week. It's good for morale, I think.
What's wrong with your screen? Oh, are you complaining about Ash's face?
Not me.
Deal with it.
They can't hear you unless you talk into the microphone.
Deal with it.
Okay, that might be too close to you. You have a loud voice.
Make me!
Yeah, I was gonna say that is really close to me. Probably.
You'll have to bendy arm the bendy
This is
arm.
confusing. I think I might go criminal just because it makes sense and it's easy enough.
Because you're a criminal.
No, it's because it makes sense and it fits in. But
Time to commit many crimes.
Alright, well. I'll fight you! I'm just repeating what King's saying.
Oh yeah, bring it on. Bring it on. I literally have an entire arsenal of swords in my car right now. Bring it on.
And I have a single throwing axe.
I
And a
have.
round shield.
He
I-
has, I think, my sword in there.
I have
King wants to be put on speakerphone.
I have
How do I do that?
2
What?
broadswords.
He just rings you and then you put him on speaker.
Right, King, call us then.
I have 2 broadswords.
Oh, yeah. He's
longsword.
hilarious to talk to.
I'll put him on.
Short sword.
Not right now. I'm busy. No more distractions.
A 2-hander. Like 5 daggers.
Something about a
shield,
banana split that came out the wrong way. Yeah, that was a conversation
2
we had one day.
rifles. A blunderbuss. Then I've got Alice's weapons as well.
There's a lot of weapons in a car.
Just sitting in my car because we went to. That's still sitting in there from Sarah's birthday.
What is?
You mean Mark's
The-
birthday?
Yeah, sorry, Mark's birthday. Not Sarah's. Yeah, all my weapons and stuff are just sitting there.
Yes, it was the Wukong. Fucking banana monkey.
I have no idea.
She's just.
We were playing League of Legends.
My work just brought out a new drug and alcohol policy. I don't think you'd be allowed in the store anymore.
What do you mean? Are you implying that I drink or do drugs?
Yes.
I was implying literally both of those.
I very rarely drink. And I don't do drugs.
I mean, you do enough Panadol.
Cha-cha-cha.
I do not! You know that's the biggest lie of your life.
Oh,
Bastard.
yes. There's more food in the kitchen, you see.
Yeah, you got some food, man. In the kitchen. Probably gone cold now.
criminal contact. You have a reliable and trustworthy contact who acts as your liaison. That's kind of cool.
It's literally just Phelan.
I mean, like, legit. Could be.
Oh, you can actually set out the characteristics of the contact here. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was pretty much, except I'm pretty sure it wasn't the asshole.
What? Something tells me I need to be in chat right now. Or should have
No, it was a very bad game. We were losing terribly, and the Wukong was a rat down bastard. Hey!
Oh,
Wait, why are you here?
Is they still waiting for the
I found out
RSAV?
why
This is so
I haven't
silly.
went Dice Loot Box.
What's that?
There is no option for it anymore.
They don't do it.
Yeah, no, they've also, you said that last week.
Yes, no, I put it in the chat the other night.
So put it in the chat.
They do a mystery bag instead now, which actually ends up being cheaper.
But it probably has less in it.
It's a random set of dice from all of their selections. For I think it was $12, so it's actually pretty
Yeah,
pretty
that
Can
is
you?
cheaper.
That's actually Can you do me one? Like if you're. Shut up! Don't give me that face.
well if you insist. Yes, I can do many of the
You know what I
dice.
think about that whole comment?
You are lucky you were enclosed in a little safe space there. I do feel sorry if you ever need to go to the toilet, by the way.
We can't get to you at all.
So I'm just making the noise shared with everyone else, not just straight at my ear. You know.
I lost a
I
dice.
do.
Alright, well, quickly,
Alright.
let us get through and do, of course, our presentations of everything's going on. Luckily, I don't have many people interrupting me this time around, so it makes my life easy. So, of course, Monday nights, I've got the jazz music playing at the same time. This is fantastic. Monday nights in Fitzroy, playing Dungeons and Dragons. I am one of the Dungeon Masters, and there's a couple of others there and whatnot, and we are quite good. So if you're looking to get into a game itself, and don't have a group of your own, and you want to come play, and you've never played before, by all means, book there with Jeremy. The email's at the bottom of that sheet, and come and play some Dungeons and Dragons with us.
Jesus Christ, I am such a skill whore as a straight rogue.
Wow.
Yes.
I'm glad you waited for me to finish at least the presentation on the very first one before you even shut up. You know.
Skill whore!
Quiet, you.
He's literally not paying attention.
I know. Sirenscape,
I am.
of course, is what's actually playing right now. The jazz music comes from Sirenscape.
It's not bad, is it?
Sorry?
It's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool, isn't it? Yeah, I quite like it as our
I
start.
feel-
Bit of an Ocean's
I
11
feel like we
feel.
do need to play like a gangster mafiosa style game now, though.
We also
I'm
had
gonna change it now.
we also
Change it.
had on before some sea shanties, which would be great for some opening credits.
Alright, so yes, that's Sirenscape. And the other one we also use is, of course, tabletopaudio.com. They are another audio group that we use, so by all means, if you want to use them, they're our two recommendations that we use. Of course, we were just talking about them just like a little moment ago. Roll with Advantage, who are now don't do the loot boxes, but also now do the random bag, or whatever you call it.
Yes, the mystery bag.
Mystery bag.
Ooh la la.
Yeah, they've got some great dice on their site. They're a Melbourne group, so they've got shipping for international customers and so on and so forth. But if you're locally, they're a good place to go, so you get them really quickly to a delivery. Because they are local.
You need to have a look at their newest selection as well.
Yeah, some of the new stuff.
Um,
Really good.
One of my D&D group, literally, first time he's ever heard about it, I showed it to him, and he's just like, add to cart, 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 add to cart. I'm like, you can leave some for next month when you get paid.
Nah, dice doesn't work like
Dude,
that.
yeah,
Oh,
no,
that's
he
so
just.
cool. You can
Yeah.
have custom skills.
Oh my god.
Chris,
Is
pay attention. Anyway, that's Roll with Advantage. Thank you. And of course, last but not least, our t-shirts.
Hey!
Mine's in the wash.
Not
You're not
wearing
wearing
mine
them.
too. I couldn't find it. I washed it, but I did all of my laundry, like probably 2 months worth of laundry, and it's now lost in the clean laundry pile. I can't find it.
Outrageous.
Look, I'm only this much organized, okay?
Ooh, look.
Oh, that's getting bad. It's
Close the
getting
door.
bad.
But the t-shirts are awesome. Follow the link. There are a bunch of them there. We're working on getting a hoodie up and running, or we might already have one
I
up
think we already
there.
got one of the basics here.
Yeah, the basic one, but not the Yolan one yet. There was a problem with that, so we're still trying to figure that out. But you get a Yolan tribute t-shirt. It's pretty awesome. I had fun making it.
it makes me sad.
It does.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty much most of the announcements that I normally get through, other than, of course, the laughing ones. Of which, again, at the end of September, start of October, we will not be here. I will give those announcements as we get closer, because we're just not going to be here to do streams.
Quest is gonna be good.
Quest, of course, is
Quest.
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 Otherwise known as Bloody God.
They said show me the boobies! I showed them the
And
boobies!
you listened?
Yes?
Don't pander to the
I mean,
To
like...
their base needs.
Didn't sacrifice anything.
Come on, guys. I hope you're better than that.
Who
He's like, what
requested
the
it?
fuck was that?
Who requested it?
It was Nick.
Nick?
Nick and Kings.
Critical
They're as
20
bad
on
as each
persuasion,
other.
clearly.
Yeah. Critical
No!
20 on persuasion. Boobies!
Boobies! Oops.
Good heavens.
Thus proving my point earlier.
There's like no alcohol in this.
And yet.
This has nothing to do with alcohol.
And yet.
This has
The
entirely
worst
to do
thing
with
is
the fact
that's
that
what
I'm
she's
really
like off
tired.
alcohol.
Yeah. See? He knows.
That's pretty cool.
I actually go quiet when I drink alcohol. When I have alcohol in my system, I stop talking.
Right, really? We're getting alcohol in the way.
Alright, can someone set up an IV for Alice, please?
Just hook it straight to her bloodstream.
Like, I just go.
unadulterated alcohol.
She was right.
I also pass out very easily when
This is
I'm.
okay.
So, can we play Dungeons
So
and
buy me a
Dragons?
bottle of port and I'll be happy and quiet in the corner.
Can we play Dungeons and Dragons but with like a noir theme?
Woo! Yes, please. I want to try
The entire
mine.
Black City is actually just a mafioso style.
That's actually
Gangland.
cool.
Everything's in
Ooh.
grayscale in the Black City,
Yeah, we should
including
play
us.
I like it.
We all have to
A
have
noir-
fake
a
cigars.
noir- style
Film noir
game.
style.
We all have to have
Yes.
fake cigarettes and
I'd
cigars.
love to do that, man.
Man,
You
imperious.
She was a farm, broad.
You need,
I'm the scourge of ours.
you need
It's
a
true.
Oh, we should do a
planeswalking
special. We should do a
campaign.
special of it.
Planeswalking
These streets.
campaign.
Oh, I'm glad it
They're
wasn't
changing
vinegar.
me.
That's good. The wine.
You gotta do
I'd
something
like to
that
try
with
some.
Planeswalking campaign. Just like you happen to land in the film noir world.
Yes. Oh, that'd be amazing. I like
And
film
then a
noir.
week later, you're in fucking.
Musical!
Huh?
Musical!
No.
Yes!
No.
What about
Yes!
Rainbow Unicorn Land?
Yeah, that'll
No, then you gotta go to a cartoon world.
That's Rainbow
You know what,
Unicorn Land.
if I was gonna do
If
Rainbow
there's a
Unicorn-
cartoon world,
If I was,
all of the effects have to have like effects. So you punch someone,
And he goes, POW!
It just goes
Bam!
no. What I do is just.
Or like-
Chris, there's only one thing I
Everything
need to
follows
do.
cartoon logic too.
That's right.
So like you can run out onto an edge and wait there for a turn in midair before you fall.
No, every turn you have to roll to see if you notice that you're standing midair.
Guys, guys, you are way overthinking it. All I do is seal up as many of the gaps as I can in this room and fill it full of helium.
Yeah.
We would die.
We would die, but
We would
hey,
all die.
Would go out with a bang.
it could be a good 10 minutes of scream.
I don't think anyone
Just
wants
us.
to hear me on Killian. I'm already high pitched enough.
So,
I think that's honestly the thing of my nightmares.
are we going to wait? Or.
Worse than, oh my god, put the asylum
gonna
music
play.
on. It was
You on
terrifying.
the silent music.
No! Yes!
I think the
No!
Mind Flayer music is creepier.
That was worse. I agree with that.
The Mind Flayer creep music is just literally my personal theme song that plays in my head.
I'm concerned for.
It's real dark in there. I want a pie.
I want pie!
I want pie.
In the sky.
I want to punch the horse.
There is no horse.
See, this music just makes me think of Annie and just like all the creepy things she says.
What? What's Annie saying?
Little girl who likes fire
What happened to your
and
jaw,
hurting
by the way?
people.
He punched it.
Thinks I punched it.
No, he
No.
didn't.
Nothing happened, guys. Nothing happened. Trust me.
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
Everything is fine.
I'll talk to you about it off stream.
There's nothing to worry about.
No, someone tried to break it.
It's vitally important that you stay calm. Our lives may depend on it.
Stuff's weirdly delicious.
I got a Slavic roll.
Tastes like mandarins. This is rather jovial.
I feel like we're running the pizzeria now.
Oh!
Mamma mia!
Dear Mitchie, it is so beautiful to see you again.
Give me some of the tomato sauce! Shoots it coming down.
Yes.
We're just like all just spitting pizzas as we talk. Oh, it's my good salad, my pizza.
Hey, Maybugs! How you doing, my friend?
We are taking nothing seriously right now.
We're
because
taking nothing seriously.
we are missing 3 cast members.
I mean,
Hey, guys!
Have you watched the
Matty Raid!
We're also waiting for Nick and Christian to get here.
Do we need to though? Because we'll just lose all our time to play. I want to play.
Confiscate it.
I'll put it in my bag.
I want to play D&D though.
I know, we're going to play in a minute.
I really want to play some D&D.
We're just going to say hi to everyone who's coming along to the raid. Thank you for joining us.
Also,
There's edition 1 of the cards.
Mick isn't coming along, Ash, so if you did want to sit...
I'm good.
Yeah, I should have jumped in today, but I'm just like getting busy and that came out really bad. I was just busy.
They said, King said keep your panties on, Ron.
I want to play Under the Dragon.
So Ash and I were streaming yesterday, and we were
Okay.
playing Battle Block Theatre together for the first time.
That's a good game.
And
Yeah, I
yeah,
watched
it
you guys
is.
watch it for a little bit, yeah.
And oh my god, we just spent half our time accidentally killing each other.
Accidentally.
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 Look, half our time was spent accidentally killing each other. The other
The other half
of our
was
time
purposely killing each
deliberately
other.
killing each other.
Yeah. It was great.
Battle Block Arena.
Battle Block Theatre.
Oh, okay.
It's actually
It's amazing.
addictively fun.
Alright.
Hey!
What's the point?
Congratulations! 1 more month and you get an upgraded
Oh,
ticket!
thanks, Maddie. I love your stuff. Maddie's been subscribing with us. This is the 5th
The
month
story
now.
is really stupid. It's great. You didn't.
I'm so excited because you'll get an upgraded tankette soon!
Oh, that's right, because we were your thousandth follower when I went and crossed back to Matty Borgs and went, follow. It's always good to have more followers. How many followers we got? I can't remember.
42.
Probably potato numbers.
Something like
Numbers you can
300
count
odd.
in potatoes.
Yes. It's what happens when you live in Australia and your prime time is everyone else's sleep time.
How dare they?
Yeah.
How dare they?
I'm scandalized by the marine ocean.
It's been one of those very difficult times in our lives where we've had to sort of just make sure we do and be playing D&D when we
I
can.
think we should just start without Nick and...
I'm trying to, but everyone else just keeps interrupting.
Because they still haven't gotten RS.
I know, they're going to be a while. I
We
know.
just got 2 new followers.
Yep.
Oh, sweet!
Mazaloon! Hopefully I got that right.
Thanks for the
Thank you
follow,
for the follow, my
guys.
friend.
Mwah. Mwah. Kisses to everybody.
Pretty sure it was Masamune.
Beautiful.
That's got a Z in it, so it went Mazaloon. Which you're probably right, pronunciation probably is that.
What's a
still, but-
mune?
Pronunciation.
Because, probably the real correct spelling of it got taken a long time ago.
Probably, yeah.
So,
It just sounds like the name of a sword. It's pretty cool.
It is.
Welcome to Sunday Nights. The party has recently been travelling to the capital of Musalon, the big city in this particular region. They have been travelling for quite some time, heading towards their end goal, finding out about the cult of Xenofelt. The cult of Xenofelt itself is a death cult of druids, all hell-bent on making sure they kill all the sentient races, the ones that cut down trees, burn forests, and cause war than worrying about the world around them.
Hey, hang on.
Let me finish!
Okay.
Sorry.
We didn't know they were druids.
yeah, we did.
Yeah,
We knew that at least one of them was.
Okay.
Let me finish. Sorry, folks. Incoming history lesson that someone interrupted now. I've lost my train of thought. Thank you. Yes, anyway, they were heading to the Black City, and they were heading towards looking for the druids. You've always known they were druids. Anyway, they have been travelling through large tracts of land on their caravan, travelling for a good 3 months through the lands themselves and coming against all sorts of things in their travels, including going through a citadel for the dwarves, which they learnt a couple of things about their characters, as well as Yorlan learning about potentially some of his history in his life before He snuffed it in Montanoil, the town situated in Bastille. In trying to investigate this underground undead creation thing for Muslim. And in doing so, they unfortunately didn't really get as far as they thought they'd planned, and they hadn't taken out the undead creation factory as much as they thought. They unfortunately, in doing so, they had tripped too many triggers and had to run out of town very quickly. So they headed north into the forest, the Fey Forest, and in doing so, they met up with the Druid Moot. And in that Druid Moot, they asked for help in dealing with a green dragon in the area, who was basically making the place not as good as it could be. Them, together with the Druids in the Moot, headed off and killed off an old adult green dragon. And they finished off there and then headed north towards the Black City. Heading through the Valley of Bones, where they encountered a small little tunnel which encased a tomb. They went through the tomb, killed off a few undead, haphazardly with mets of fireballs and turning undead because they were just skeletons. And encountering some very interesting spectres and wraiths, of which one of the party members almost died again, being the same one who died before. But they finished off and were talking to the gentleman that they found inside that place. And in talking to him, they've learnt a little bit about the Black City itself, but this gentleman has not been there for quite some time. So the news or the information is dry at best. They finished up there, left the town, the tunnel, and headed back out into the rest of the valley. They holed up for the night, ate their food, slept, and woke up in the morning. And that's where they are now. With a few of the party members still asleep in their bags.
Or the chest.
Or the chest, yes.
So we came out of the tunnel. What was the terrain like on the other side?
It's pretty much the same as what it was on the inside. So as you come out of the tunnel, you notice that there's a lot of the grey patches of dusty dirt in the area, and most of the green patches of grass and stuff like that is very few and far between.
So this is more corrupted.
More corrupted, yeah. From what you can gather, especially those with the high perception and whatnot, is not as bad as it was prior to the tunnel. So there's sort of a bit of a this looks like probably a few forces may have gotten through or something like through the tunnel or something like that, and a bit of a fight happened here. But from what you can gather, it probably mostly happened on the other side. More grey, more airy. So you can see across the horizon as you're looking down the valley itself, you can see that it is already starting to clear up and become grassy again, almost immediately. Unlike before, where it was almost a day or two of the grey coming up.
Okay.
So obviously the defense came from the other side.
Yeah.
Does it look like the valley's widening back up again, or is it staying narrow?
What happened?
Cup syrup.
Amber is going to be strategically keeping away from the places that give her heebie-jeebies.
Of course you are. That is what you do.
So is this valley staying quite narrow?
Currently, yes, but you can see as you come out of the tunnel, you see on the horizon it is already starting to widen out as you look further on.
So this was just the most narrow part of the valley that was probably the best for fortification.
Correct, and probably also from what you can gather, the least amount of resources to create such a defensive position.
Yeah, fair enough. We plod oh, birds!
Heebie-jeebies. Too many heebie-jeebies.
But I'm with birds!
Yeah, Chris is a little bit sick.
Tweedledee.
So you might get a little bit of coughing from him and stuff like that. But other than that, you're seeing, like you saw before, more hawks in the sky. You probably even recognise them from the original ones you talked to a few days ago.
Yes.
Birds in the trees in the area. Most of the trees, I said, they're a bit stumpy in this area, and there's a couple of them that are like a little bit dead. But you have a look at them, look a bit closer, and notice that they are showing a few signs here and there of leaves and sprouts started coming up out of the deadness that they are.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that it's getting better. It's all gross back there, but if we go this way, it'll get nicer, I'm sure.
Can we see the city yet in the distance?
No.
Okay.
You know it's probably at least another week of travel before you actually get to that particular area.
it was also mentioned how far we'd have to travel until we encountered any checkpoints or forces.
You suspect you've probably got another 3 or 4 days of travel with still seeing no one before you actually have to worry about people.
Okay. So maybe we should use this time to prepare to be in disguise.
Alright.
Yes, I need some...
Well, I mean, we need a mirror for that. He's still asleep.
He's been asleep a lot.
Yeah, maybe he got sick.
I gave him so many good berries.
That's probably why he's sick.
He should be fine.
He's a bit backed up.
Maybe his stomach doesn't like them.
But he's a half elf. It should work for him.
Maybe he's allergic.
Or he's too used to that sandy cuisine.
What is sandy cuisine?
All the things from the deserts that he eats.
Oh.
I don't know.
I've never really been to a desert.
What would you even eat from a desert?
Scorpions?
Scorpions. All those spiky bushes, the cacti.
Are they edible? They seem a bit prickly.
I think that's on purpose. It's a defense mechanism. So if you can get past the exterior, the interior might be nice.
Oh, like animals that have claws and teeth. Ah, makes sense now. I get it.
Yes. The animals put up more of a fight than cacti.
A bit like a mirror as well. If you get
don't
past
know.
the prickly exterior, it's quite nice inside.
How
I
about
thought he was quite friendly.
sort of. He's an interesting one.
On the topic of disguise, though, I have got no problem. I can disguise myself at will.
Yeah, but you have a beard now.
I'm already disguised, see? At will.
How is the beard doing? More luscious?
It's always luscious, the beard. It's glorious.
So
And clean.
Mine's groomed, sort of. No, it's not. It's wild.
So my plan is to be an animal until we can go clothes shopping. Your plan is to just have a beard.
Why are we going clothes shopping?
Because I feel like all the browns and greens are going to give me away a little bit. If I dress to blend in with all the other peasants, then I'll just skim a crowd and go, oh look, it's a peasant. I'll leave him alone because he lives here.
I only have traveling clothes.
Well, maybe you should put them on.
Do we know anything about the Black City?
That guy back there wasn't super helpful.
No, I mean the people who live there.
Well,
Do we?
they're Bretonian.
Or are they even people?
No, I think
he
they're-
said there were people.
I thought they were Musalon.
Yeah, but it's similar fashion, isn't it? A lot of hoods and tunics.
Well, I believe that the people are of Bretonia.
I just need a nice off-color tunic and a hood, and I'll be fine. I suppose. Yes. I'll see what's in the shops. I'll just put on what's in the shops. It'll be fine.
Perhaps they have their own fashion trend.
Who knows?
One of the things you were told by that guy, and I know I did tell you last week, but you've probably forgotten, is that the Black City itself has a shanty town out the front. And it's quite a large one. So he told you a couple of the places that he knows of in the shanty town. And there's a bit of a... Once you're inside the city itself, it's kind of hard to get back out.
What?
For the general populace. Like for you as adventurers, would have far less of a problem. But the general populace is that they're kind of stuck inside the city itself. It's like the walls of the city, even though they're designed in the sense to stop people from invading, there's also an element of keeping everyone in.
Maybe I shouldn't look exactly like someone who lives there. I'll get clothes that don't look like me, but I was preparing some notes about this because you Rayleigh, you bought that nice cloak that would make you blend in the forest. And so I thought, what?
We're out of the forest now. Do you want it?
No, I want things to make me blend in the city.
I take off the cloak, throw it into the dirt, and just like trash the shit out of the cloak. Like, just get it really muddy. Here, this will do it.
I'm just going to put it in the back of the cart. I'll give it a once over later.
If you're not going to
Thanks.
use it, I will.
Okay, then that was a bit rude.
Why?
Because it was made with love.
It was made for a purpose.
Uh-huh.
Alright.
It's still useful, it's just... We're just
It's
not...
more useful dirty, because that's where we're going.
Anyway,
Shanty towns are not generally known for their hygiene.
no, but I wanted... With all this money now, and I wanted to use some of it because that's how human society works, apparently. So
Some like to stockpile it.
So I thought, so things I want to do: spend money, get horses, green horses.
Oh, we could make a new candy pillar.
Yeah, that's also on my list.
Yeah,
we
that would
can
be
make
cool.
things nice.
We could make it actually float.
I don't think we're going to find shipwrights or possibly even good stable animals in the Black City.
It's the capital city, though. Shouldn't it have good stuff?
Perhaps, but maybe limited to nobles.
Well, then I'll need to get some nice clothes. I suppose. Nobles wear nice clothes.
You probably know, as you guys have been travelling through here, that whatever you guys have done in Montanoil and the news that might come from Montanoil, you're ahead of it.
Okay.
For the
So
moment.
for the moment. So you reckon by the time you get to the Black City, you've probably got maybe 3 to 5 days ahead of whatever news may come. And even then, it might just trickle in and take another week before it even anything happens.
Mm.
So you know you've a little bit of speed that you managed to sort of get ahead because you just jumped ahead, jumped the gun, and left Montanoil as quick as you could. They're probably still reeling about what's going on over there and trying to figure everything out before they even decide to send anything out.
Mm.
So for that particular purpose, you suspect that you've got a few days of not being noticed as much before things probably get worse.
For prep. To
Yeah.
not. Okay.
Rather than disguises, what we really need is some sort of base of operations in the city.
Yes, a house.
Not even,
Then what?
just somewhere.
Well, when Valkyr was in Montanoil, did he have a house?
Did he come from Musselon?
I don't know, but
Did Valkyr come from Musselon?
was he in
No,
an
but he
inn?
was living in a house there. Yes.
Okay, so then we'll just do whatever he did and get a house.
That costs a lot of money.
Does it?
Yes.
Oh,
Especially when there's 7 of you.
I normally just use trees.
Right. I was thinking more the sewers.
Ew.
Why? You have mice there. They're your friends, aren't they?
Yeah, but it smells a bit.
Well, we shall see when we get there anyway.
It's still good to plan ahead. I need some more seeds as well.
I'd like to find the alchemist's place.
If we plan on being there for a while, I would like somewhere to set up a bit of a workshop.
Yeah.
Even if it's small.
Are role players in the real life? What does he mean?
Just keep playing.
We were in Summerport. Weren't there some houses that were just empty? I saw some houses that didn't look so great. They were just
That
empty.
was more the city was decaying. If there's a shanty town out the front as one of the Black City, it begs the question: who lives in the shanty town, and therefore are they resource short? In
Maybe
which
they're
case
all the
houses
Bretons.
could be, but either way, the resources are going to be limited. So I doubt we'll see too many empty constructions with no squatters.
Then we tell the squatters to leave, and then we become the squatters.
Or we could pay the squatters to not tell anyone they were there.
We shall see.
Okay. I still have plans.
Yeah, we're all in person. The others are just running late.
We're sort of stalling.
Yes. Let us go forward. Yeah, I don't know.
I swear to God, I want to butcher the cow just because of its dumb name.
No, stop eating. Go forwards.
Look, slowly just creeps forward, and the caravan just creaks as it's going forward with the oxen as it takes it at a very slow pace.
Ah.
The bell going around its neck.
Dong, dong, dong.
Some horses is definitely necessary.
I love this ox, but he's not. He's not speedy.
No, he's not.
He has got a lot of weight to carry.
That cart is quite heavy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of gold in it.
And silver
And
and copper
people.
too. Yeah.
You guys head off and start traveling for the morning. Slowly, you travel through the valley as it starts to widen up. And you know you are moving ever so close to the Black City, and it's coming and coming and coming. But the scenery at this present moment in time is starting to return back to a bit of normalcy. The dustiness of the bones is starting to disappear. The grass is starting to return, flowers and even trees that are not half dead are now starting to appear. You get to halfway through the day, stop for a moment, eat some of your dry rations for your lunch, and then you continue on for the rest of the afternoon as you watch the landscape change from that dark grey into the more lush green of the valley that you originally saw when you first arrived. You probably feel the wind pick up a little bit as you start travelling along, and the oxen is just keep moving forward and doing what it does.
As we're traveling, Amber's gonna go talk to Rowan. Rowan,
Yeah.
I'm good at making things, but my knowledge of herbs is a little bit, scarce. Do you think you could help me find some herbs to make something, like beard styling gel,
Well, I've got
wax?
a few. I've got some supplies left over, and you got that.
Do have some
syrup
things-
from the maple trees.
Oh right.
We could throw something together.
And essentially Amber's going to endeavour to try and make like a wax, like
Yep.
hair wax.
Yeah, that's not too difficult to do. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if we're passing more trees.
Are you using the maple syrup you got from the trees, essentially?
Well, if we're
She would
passing.
prefer to
Yeah.
avoid using the maple syrup from the tree. She wants to make a brew out of that.
Okay, how about this? I will endeavor to locate a beehive to get actual wax.
In actual wax, a beehive. Okay, do a survival. Yeah, do a survival check.
With my assistance, if I'm probably no help. I have -2.
Do you have yeah, exactly.
I have -2. Don't mind me.
Alice will help you out, so at disadvantage.
And so she's like, "Oh, look, a beehive."
Stop helping! Stop helping! Wait, really?
No, he's just ignoring me as Amber just pokes at trees.
By the way, Mazamoon, you're not distracting. I was actually trying to type something in, and for some reason, it won't actually send. It was just really bizarre. So
I got a 15.
a 15. Yeah, you definitely find a tree further up the wall of the valley itself. Not too far, not too difficult to get to, but you can see the buzzing of the bees as they're going around in this small half-made hive that got hanging from one of the trees.
Important question. As a druid, can I speak bee?
It's not an animal, technically.
Are you sure?
It's an insect.
Insect?
It's not a.
I also learned that I'm
It's not a
being
beast?
over generous with the talk to the animals thing, but
You are, but that's the fun of it.
But I can talk to all of them.
yeah, but they don't
At-
respond.
At will, though. It's
Yes,
so
you
good.
can, but they don't respond the way I've been responding. However, I've been
At the
enjoying
discretion
it.
of the
Yeah.
DM.
It's a good time.
It's a good time. But you start, focusing your mind a little bit into actually talking to them, because it's not a natural thing to do.
Communicate.
There's a certain amount of passing on your power to them to be able to communicate backwards. So it's not that they know how to talk, it's you're giving them a little bit of knowledge of communication, per se. It's probably a better way to translate it. So they don't inherently know how to talk, because they just don't. And they talk very simply, so you're adding a bit extra on top of, an extra layer on top of.
It's just like being able to understand what their noises and their movements, and interpreting words from that.
Yes.
So I will proceed gingerly towards the beehive, and I will say, "Hello, bees.
And it's just like,
Can you understand me? I've never done this before.
Yes. Yes.
Hello.
Hi.
Are
I
these
just want to throw a rock.
are these honeybees or bumblebees or?
Just honeybees.
Okay, well then they should have some spare resources then.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Would I be able to offer you find creatures a trade?
What?
I will create a field of flowers for you. If you give me some of your wax. Does that sound like a good deal, bees?
Deal?
Okay. It's a deal. It's a deal. I'm gonna take some of the flower seeds I've got on my person and just
it's gonna end bad.
and just spread them. I'm gonna spread them around the tree where the hive is, and then cast plant growth to make them all bloom into flowers at once. Behold, bees!
Like a swarm of bees comes out of the hive, comes down towards the
I'm
flowers that
vial.
you've created.
Vial, quickly. Am I aware of where in a beehive is best to get wax?
It depends on the phase in the life cycle of them.
Okay.
It is probably nearer to the start because we're still in the summer, starting to head into spring. So they've probably only just started to create a mixture of both the wax and the honey at the same time.
Okay.
They kind of it's in layers, so it stacks on each other as they build the hive bigger and bigger and bigger. So most likely probably the bottom part of it, or at least the outside part of it, should be okay. But you've got to be careful because if you scrape away too much of the wax, then you'll also open up the inner and get to the honey. But then you also open up the whole hive essentially.
You'll expose their home.
I am going
Wasps and other predators.
try and extract wax from this hive as best I can.
Do me we'll just do a survival check for it.
Okay. 23.
Yeah, you managed to, with a bit of a poking of prodding and stuff like that, you managed to scrape away a fair amount of the wax in the undersection, as well as you can get a little bit of honey.
Oh, okay. So, in terms of milliliters,
you probably get a shot worth of honey.
that's fine. We can of the wax I meant.
Sorry, say it again.
How much
of
of
the
wax?
wax itself?
Yeah.
Probably about an inch of cube. So like a small block.
Yeah, okay. That'll do quite nicely.
That will do quite nicely, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna then I'll make sure that it's closed back up again, and then say I'm gonna.
Yeah, you're the one who's whinged the whole time about us eating on stream, so none of us are allowed to eat on stream anymore, and you're the one doing it. I will admittedly say that
It was melting in my pocket. I just remembered it was there.
Oh, so it's okay for you to eat it on
It's like
stream.
pocket bacon.
After you stopped everyone else from doing
I
so.
will then run back down the hill and call back, "Thanks, bees," and then approach Amber and say, "Amber, look, wax, actual wax.
Oh,
There you go. And now you can style yourself."
that'll work.
There's a big
Oh, it
difference
smells
between us.
nice too.
There's a big difference between us eating a big actual dinner meal type thing and then a couple of snacks here and there.
Okay.
It's more like when we've opened up the stream at the start before, when we've been in the middle of one of our big meals and we're just like stuffing ourselves full of a whole heap of different food.
Job done.
And yes, it was a
Let's
Kit
carry
Kat.
on.
Yes, it was a Kit Kat.
I forgot I had one piece left in like my pocket, and I was like, shit, it's gonna melt into my pocket.
Was it your back pocket?
No, it was my jacket.
Oh, should
My
be your back
coat.
pocket. Then just like go to like Safeway, something like that, and just reach down and pull out this like chocolate thing.
That'd be nasty. I'd look like I shit my pants.
That's the idea.
That's the joke.
Oh no.
You didn't
Okay.
even offer me
I
some.
mix up some olive oil and some beeswax. And
You weren't
some
here when I
appropriate
opened
scents.
it. I gave Rory some.
That's from TJ Fate
For
I'll buy
like,
you one tomorrow.
good beard wax.
for good beeswax. Yeah.
Okay. As I'm like bounding down the hill, are there any especially fragrant flowers that I've just grown?
Oh yeah, see, it's like a whole range of stuff. A lot of daffodils, of course,
Okay.
in the area. There's a few bits and pieces here and there you can sort of just scrap through. Your inherent survival is easy to find whatever you need to find.
I'll grab like a handful of lavender as I'm bounding down the hill. More like, yes, also lavender. Combine them into one. What?
Someone was suggesting don't use e-wax in place of beeswax.
UX is bad plan.
Gross.
That being said,
I mean, when you're desperate.
When you're desperate.
look,
yeah.
that being said, Amber doesn't normally groom her beard, so, you know.
Anyway, you have yourself nicely scented wax for hair.
And
Yeah, we would have concocted this together.
Yeah.
I would have been making it, like, using my little stone to, like, melt it a little bit, add this or that, and he'd be like, oh! And then, like, put it in and be like, alright, I guess. Cool.
Start molding it together again.
Yeah.
pulling the small leaves off the lavender and then pulverizing them and then add that in there too.
I'm gonna smell lovely.
Yeah.
That's not my plan.
It's a good little amount you got there, and it's actually you managed to do quite well, and it's quite nice. Quite a nice little smell that you managed to got to it. A little bit crumbly because you're trying to you don't quite have the best stuff that you have to make this stuff, as well as you're still moving at the same time you're trying to do all
Yeah,
that
this
stuff.
is,
Still pretty good.
It's serviceable.
I mean, like, this is something we might also do, like, at the end of the day or something.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not like...
Really?
Mm.
I have a question.
I'll go for a fate.
You're of a more tactical mind than myself. When we get to the city, is there any suggestions you have for trying to track down this cult?
From what I understand, I think it's more important that we spend the first couple of days getting somewhere in the city and getting somewhere out the city that we can lie down. As far as tracking the cult, well, Rowan,
What? Yeah.
the routes require resources, don't they?
Sometimes yes.
Like,
You'll notice I went to quite a bit of trouble to find some holly and mistletoe. They're very fundamental aspects of our spellcasting.
there'll need to be a garden in the city somewhere growing this sort of thing. If they don't have anything, then they won't be as powerful as they are. So there's got to be somewhere that they're keeping a greenhouse, greenery, something like that. That would be my first goal.
I was planning on going and visiting the alchemist
That too.
and the herbologist, if there is one.
Is there anything you could use, or devices or anything I could whip up?
Me, personally?
Yes.
Not currently. I think I'm looking for... I will talk about it later.
You guys finish for the night and you camp, cook up some of the food that you have, talk amongst yourselves around the fire, and then call it a night. Of course, you set yourselves up into watches, but most of the night goes uneventful. You wake up in the morning, have your breakfast, pack down your cart, pack down yourselves, and start travelling off again. The valley itself, of course, is widening up like it did before, and you're now a day out from the tunnel itself, that you no longer see it on the horizon anymore.
Okay.
You see just grass and the creek that you've been travelling along, as well as the road that hasn't been used for a while. Overgrown, of course, but you're blazing a little bit of a trail through the growth of the road.
And we're going uphill the whole time, yeah?
There's a little bit of uphill going up, yes.
So that night before Amber went to bed, she pulled out her notebook, or her diary or journal or whatever, she has like a thing, and just started like intently drawing and like writing notes of things and stuff. Just for about half an hour, just thinking in her book, as she kind of does from time to time.
About what?
You'll find out.
Right, like that, is it? Alright, that's cool. Anyway.
I'll message you.
Yeah, okay. Other than that, you travel most of the day, and it's mostly uneventful. More of the same. In fact, probably the thing you do notice that you managed to see a single sheep. Everyone else is like, whatever, and you're like, meh, meh, meh. Then like the sheep runs up to you, like really excited to see someone else. Then we're kind of like mentally, you're humans. Meh. 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 Basically, just continues to chew on grass.
So, heard us before he saw us and was all like, oh.
Yeah, exactly.
Friends! Not friends.
Oh, that makes me sad.
Who's that?
Cancels.
Okay.
Other than that, you travel
Potato
on.
on my phone.
You finish up for the afternoon, have your lunch, of course, and then you travel on for a bit more of the day.
Sorry, pardon.
Then you camp for the night, of course, again, and you go through the same ritual you've been going through the last couple of days. You do all of this again for another day, so 3 days have now passed.
The night before we... So the night before the day where we'll arrive at the city, Amber has a plan.
Okay.
I'm also going to want to... No, I won't.
Really? May I borrow one of your daggers? One of your less precious ones?
Less precious daggers here. And I just randomly throw you 3 daggers. Which one?
Just one.
Alright, fine. Flip it and pass it to him.
If it doesn't come back in one piece, I will buy you another.
Nah, I have enough at the moment. What are you planning?
You will see. I hope you will like it.
Alright.
Should we be concerned?
As you see him, like, open up one of the gunpowder pouches that he's got for the bullet. Probably.
What do you need a dagger for?
You'll see.
But you've got that stuff that goes boom.
Yes, I'm
No,
concocting something.
hold on, let him do it, Rowan. I want to see this. As he's opening gunpowder over a dagger. What are you doing?
He's got the dagger to the side. He's opening some gunpowder. He's working on something.
Alright.
Okay. Ooh, I just realised there's a thing I need to do. In one of these evenings, Rowan is going to start braiding his hair, like thoroughly.
Oh, Amber can help with that. She's really good at braiding.
Yes.
Do you
But
have
mine will have a dwarven touch.
Yeah. He's going for very like generic style. So it's just making his hair be less of a thing, so it's more densely packed around his head.
Do you have any extra wax, by the way, Amber?
No.
No?
I need it.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
That's fine.
what do you need it for?
Sealing bottles.
No, I don't have that much.
Well, it was more
It's
than...
not a lot.
Is...
I need it.
Like, can you just, like, rub some on this piece of fabric? Stick the fabric over the bottle with wax on it, force it down with the cork. It'll stay totally there.
Oh yeah. You'd probably just like tallow or something that would do the trick as well.
Yep.
Or
I
like
think.
a candle.
Do I know if that will hinder my plan? Because I'm going to need a lot of wax.
For what?
My plan. What I messaged you.
For
For the styling.
depending on how much spelling you want to do. Hey, King.
Oh God, scheming without us. I want to know what's going on.
Typing on Facebook, yeah.
Whatever, it's fine. I don't really need it. The cork will do. It's just a bit riskier.
What about a candle?
I mean, if you're happy to wait until later, I can see if I have any left.
No, it's more I'm just experimenting with something.
Right. Welcome back. Sorry.
Candle. Have I got a candle?
Do any of us have candles?
It's in your character sheet.
I have
I don't think I ever wrote that down.
I have a candle, but it's not gonna cut it.
No. Why do I have a tinderbox? Good grief.
I feel like you would have got rid of that.
Oh,
Yeah, that's why you'd need good quality beeswax to do it, because it will seal a city.
He went to
where a candle wax won't.
I went to a lot of trouble to get that wax.
But you need sealing wax or
Two whole
beeswax to do
vegetables.
something like that. Candle wax will not seal.
No, that wax
We can
is.
find some sealing wax.
I have 50 candles.
50
I've
candles.
got
What for?
4. So.
Usually your packs normally have them, like when you create a character, you create a backpack and usually have stuff in it. So
Would I know how to make like a sealing wax from candle wax? Like, would I know how to like?
Because he's looking for a specific acid one that's against acid. That's what he's sort of aiming for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
but-
I was going to need something like beeswax and then be able to make it myself using poison kit
Fair.
to
Yeah,
be
but I
able
was-
to handle substantially more.
With my alchemy experience, though, would I be able to assist him in creating something like that?
Probably not. It's more a poisonous thing.
No, because there's
You
caustic
can relate
potions.
to each other. They're in that particular area, that's probably not that far off from each other.
'Cause-
Your knowledge is slightly different coming from different angles.
Yeah,
But it's generally the same.
because I would have experience with caustic potions, but not poisons. Like acid is technically still a
Night, Mazza.
potion. Good night.
Anyway, I wanted to take I wanted to start playing around with some poison ingredients and
Welcome along, Mozo.
trying to do something interesting.
Don't stress too much about getting the wax. It's not difficult for you to get. Probably with a little bit of help from Rowan, you can probably get some of the natural resources in the area and get some more stuff.
Or in town, it's a silver piece.
Yeah.
No, really? Is that all? I'll just pay that. But yes, I'm at the moment I'm looking at trying to use some of my poison ingredients, which I assume contains shit like nightshade, tomato leaves, maybe some rhubarb, just garbage like that. And just making a base which is suitable for holding something virulent.
Yeah. Yeah. So like either something as a thick viscous type thing for sticking on weapons type thing, or something a bit that dissolves in a liquid clear easier, or
So I assume my options would be airborne, weapon-borne, food-borne.
Yeah.
Weapon-borne.
when we say foodborne, it's kind of like this liquid version of it, which
It's
is
something that
dissolves
makes
better.
it less
Yeah.
detectable.
Yes.
Right?
Or a powder?
A
Weapon,
powder can also work too, yes.
weapon-borne for a moment.
So you're looking for something that's a bit more viscous, a bit more, probably, wax actually. Yeah.
Wax and things like that, yes.
Something that will stick to the blade long enough for it not to sort of just dissipate so quickly.
Yes.
I have this honey that I wasn't going to use.
Probably better for food. Thank you, though.
It's a
Robert.
bit sticky.
Any sap from the trees in this area would actually do the trick.
Oh, I have maple sap anyway, so
Yeah,
I'll just
there you
use
go.
it.
Yeah.
And some of my poison ingredients to get the base going.
All it is a case of just looking around and picking up a few bits and pieces here and there from the general environment. So some sap just to give you that
So
thickening
the
stuff.
way I'm figuring how I'm doing it, the poison ingredients just makes the base. The airborne, weapon-borne, or food-borne is whether you want sap, an aerosolizer, or something like that.
Yeah.
So some sort of thing that does it, and then the actual poison effect is determined by a special ingredient. What are you making?
I hope people can see it. It's hilarious.
Terrible drawing, but
What?
Oh, this is a shit
What is
idea.
it is
It's a
a
ballistic knife.
single shot hidden blade ballistic knife.
What? You're gonna shoot a knife at somebody?
Yes.
Why wouldn't I just
Why
throw
not?
it?
That's like actually kind of awesome.
I'm more accurate throwing it.
To be fair, he isn't tall.
What about it going fucking boom?
It doesn't need to be stealth after you killed the person.
But if I throw it, then it can be stealthy multiple times.
You can't get the. It's pretty obvious when you pull out a dagger and go, "I'm going to throw it at someone."
Right, give it to me. Give it to me.
I haven't built the thing yet.
Oh. Okay,
I'll
That's
save
his plan.
I'll
That's
save
his
that
plan.
conversation for when I actually see it.
That's ridiculous.
Also, it might have a bit more power behind it.
That's hilarious, though.
Look,
Yeah.
I said Imperius would invent things. I never said that they would actually be tactically useful.
So, this is our second night,
This
or our
is the
third night.
Third night.
And it's the last night before we get to the shanty town.
Roughly. No. Shantytown's still a fair way off. This is probably your last night or your second last night before you might actually start contacting with actual people.
Yes. So the
Do we want to say, for the sake of convenience, that Valkyr has used his magic armor and made himself look very innocuous?
Yes.
And I cut a hole in my winter blanket and put it over Antoine's head, so now he's wearing a poncho, so it's not as though he's wearing armor or all that jazz. So we've at least made...
You've made yourself enough for me to sort of like...
Antoine,
look as
you're still
nondescript.
paying.
Amber's also put on her traveling clothes, and she's like every
Antoine
every
still
like
sounds
20
like a
minutes,
clumsy
she's
fool.
sitting there like, God, this thing is so. Oh.
It's because it's wool, Amber!
Have you got fleas again?
What's new? This fabric is just so. How do you wear such uncomfortable clothing? And
Ah, shit, I'm
It's-
falling into my new accent.
It's made to fit you. Is that...
it's all between my legs.
Right, okay.
Oh, she's a guy!
It's made to fit, like, it's meant to
You
be
know,
like...
honestly, Valen, I have no idea.
It's got like... It's got in the
I like
armpit,
you,
there's
Amber.
gussets.
I like you, Amber, a lot. You know why?
Why?
Because you're weirder than I.
Oh, thank you. I think.
Look, just... You need more space under here, less space in the crotch, and you'll be
No.
fine.
Well, I guess so. It's just. Maybe I should have put these. I don't know.
We can find a tailor in town, I suppose.
It's fine. I just haven't worn these in a really long time.
Well, they're holding up.
Right.
Yeah, that's well, probably because they're. Well, I wore them once and decided never to wear them again. I like my leathers better.
Yeah, but it's gonna get cold eventually, and
That's what these are for.
but you're not as obviously a person who was arrested if you're no longer almost entirely naked.
Really, you should shave your beard.
Oh,
No.
Oh, well.
you're gonna say that to a dwarf?
You could glue it to Imperius's face.
He already has one.
You
Look at
could
it.
have a bigger one.
No. The
I
only
don't
no.
think I need-
I am
I mean,
not a disgraced
I have
dwarf.
heard of wizened wizards
my
back in
pride.
Estro who had very long beards almost to the ground.
That's really impractical.
Brilliant. But
This is
My-
why I was mostly always clean shaven.
Okay.
My father has a beard that long, except he's a lot shorter. So I mean,
I was going to say,
It's
it's
a
not as much
shorter
to get
beard.
to the ground.
yes, but it's still long.
So what, it's a foot long?
No, he's taller than I am. I'm a short dwarf.
I'm curious now.
it's 2 feet, Valen.
Yeah, I suppose.
What?
For a dwarf.
Hey,
What?
did you not ever learn how measurements work? No, I am clearly 4 feet tall.
She's
My
like-
father is
yes.
taller than me. He is 5 feet tall. Okay, so he has at least a 4 foot long beard.
She's like two
Basic
ribs up. 2 ribs up.
mathematics.
Cool.
and I just keep it going and winding her up
Yeah.
for the sake of it.
So are we talking?
And she, of course,
Are we
bites like.
talking 4 halfling feet or 4 dwarf feet?
No.
They seem a little bit shorter than 4 human
Okay,
feet.
a foot is
Yeah,
approximately this big. Well, actually, on Amber, it's probably like this big.
Really
That's
huge.
not a foot. Your foot are a lot smaller
No,
than
it's
that.
like an expression.
But is that how big of a
It's just a
standard
name for a. You know what's a giant's foot?
So
Have you ever seen a giant? No! Ah! And she just like looks up.
You guys have all seen giants because you fought one in the arena back in the day.
Yeah.
Was that actually a
It was a
giant?
hill giant.
Yeah.
We've seen him.
I was not there for that. I was.
That's okay.
I was the only one who wasn't. That's
I was in England.
Yes, I've seen hill giants.
Yes, we're missing
yes,
people.
we have missing a couple people because their
Car broke down.
car broke down.
They're on their way still.
So probably we'll have a break and then they'll suddenly appear. Well, I tell you what, this has been a great travel and all, but I think by the time I get to the Black City, I might have to leave you for a little bit until you pick up and deal with the problem you got to deal with. You see, I know a few people in the Black City, but I think it might be a bit easier if I travel alone. I will catch up with you again some point in time when I find out what I found out, but you know what? Really,
What are you looking for?
I gotta talk to some people. People I know.
Alright.
A few contacts here and there that might be able to help us out find these despicable folk.
Fair enough.
I could use your talents for such a thing, no? Would you be interested?
Sure. This sounds fun.
Alright, well when we get to the city we'll probably disappear for a little bit. And we probably might have to go a little deep. You okay with that?
Deep?
Well, it's the Black City, my friend.
I don't know what you mean. What are you into, Vale?
You're trying to have a joke in a serious situation?
Oh, sorry, friend. Alright, fine.
You know what I mean?
Alright.
You sure you know what I mean?
Of course I know what you mean. Please, I've done this longer than you have.
You sure about that?
Probably.
You sure about that?
No. But I'm still going to take a guess. How old does Valen look?
Like 20s, early 30s?
Yeah, so probably about the same amount of time then.
You're just having a pissing contest right now.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is.
My gun's at least 2 times as big as yours.
So Amber
Well, that's not hard. He doesn't have one.
So Amber has stomped off ahead,
Yep.
infuriated by the nonsense, and has gone and like dragged Rowan with her, and she's chatting quietly with Rowan about her plan.
Yep.
And
'Cause she's
about
gonna
how
need
her
some
feet
assistance.
are the right size.
Her feet are perfectly. My feet are perfectly in proportion with my body.
Yes, they're a bit wider than mine. That's to be expected.
Imperious.
That's what dwarf feet are like. We have very wide feet, but not quite as big as halflings.
Halflings have big feet.
Well, compared to their size,
Ah.
haven't you ever noticed Antoine's feet are rather large?
Speaking of which, Imperious is probably in the car trying to draw up some blueprints and like shifting Antoine over slightly bit by bit.
Oh no,
As there's probably not much room. Oh, yeah, he's probably shoved him back into the chest and then sat on top of the chest.
he's probably asleep in the chest and you've sat on it and he's like, hello, can you let me out of here?
I'm just finishing up a design, wait.
So, we are off elsewhere.
Yes.
But this may be a conversation in need of finishing. Tim?
Very well.
Did...
Yeah, no, we're fine. It's just a bit of it. We'll go into it more later.
Of course.
Foreshadowing.
And you know what the plan is, right?
I do, yes.
Yes.
What is your plan?
It's okay. You'll find out.
Well, I assume you said that in character, so what is your plan?
No.
So,
It hasn't happened yet. And we wandered off to say it.
yeah, it's them just like chatting and doing like...
And Amber's
like,
showing him like bits of paper and like
Yeah.
this
I
diary
have a
of
feeling
thing.
we might have trouble from those two once we get to the city, because they're planning something.
I just assume we always have trouble.
Right, that's fair.
You just see Amber pull out like a knife and just like, and puts it away. And
This is unusual.
You know what?
Oh, and
That's
then
probably one of the
Amber
greatest
asks if you have
distractions I've ever
shoes.
seen in my life. If they've just done right.
Asks if you have
What?
shoes.
Oh,
You gotta stop treating them like they're a problem. Wait, you gotta treat them like it's just another tool you use in the right way.
yes, but generally more people end up dead, and tools are generally disposable.
If I know you, boy.
Boy.
There's a lot of
dead.
there's a lot of people who end up dead in your hands.
I resent that. I don't deny
You
it.
also resemble it.
True.
Fuck you, Valen.
You know what? The truth is very hurtful. You know that, right?
I know.
Yeah, right.
And I never
Right,
became the
fuck you.
bestest of friends.
I don't have such a problem myself because when I kill them, they're usually far away.
It's true.
But you know, if they're done in the right way and they're utilized in the right way, they could probably be quite beneficial.
So, Valen, why do you need me? You do
I
not
don't need
strike
ya.
You don't strike me as the shadows and daggers type.
Well, that's the difference, you see, because you're right, I'm not. I mean, I can do a little bit of sneaky stuff here and there, but I'm loud and proud, man.
Right.
Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Two
Right,
pistols.
yes, I get it, but why?
Because sometimes I do need someone who keeps it in the background and doesn't get noticed and needs to keep an eye on a couple things here and there. You have an eye for things. And sometimes when I'm busy, you know, showing off and talking to people, doing the walk, doing the talk, I need someone else who's having to look around and see if there's anything going on when I'm not noticing.
So you're trying to rob someone?
I'm talking to people. I got some contacts.
And
And I tell you what, right now, I don't need you. I'm handing out an offer for you.
alright, fine, let's go.
It would just make life. I'm just saying that while I'm offering you the chance to come join me in some of my shenanigans per se, I just figured it'd be something you might be into.
Alright, let's see.
And it's always good to at least have someone at your back,
That's fair.
especially if I need someone murdered.
Alright.
Just like raised an eyebrow. Oh, great.
That one out there, didn't you?
Oh, I'm bleeding accents so bad at the moment.
Alright.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's hot.
Ooh la la.
I need to get back
Selene.
into
I love this.
Raylan's accent. This is closer to Raylan's. This is better. It's a bit Russian.
Bit.
Bit better.
So, are we gonna do the thing this evening?
The last evening before we get to People Land.
People.
Is that this evening?
As in, like, start encountering people. So that'd
That's
be
this
this
evening?
evening, wouldn't it? Before we, yeah.
Okay.
We kind of like it. We're not being exact here. It's like you can hear cows and stuff.
Okay, it sounds like
There's a
we are
few
we are
farms
approaching
over
farmland.
Mm.
So, shall we?
Amber and Rowan will strategically plan a watch together.
Okay, which one?
I always take the first, so the first watch.
First watch.
First watch it is. All right, you guys take the first watch.
Guess I'd be middle watch then.
Yep.
And we wait till
You're
everyone's
gonna
asleep.
be last watch.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then once
Unless you
everyone's...
want to be middle watch with me. Because otherwise we got no one to watch.
No, okay, last watch.
Okay.
And while everyone else is asleep, once they're asleep, she'll get Rowan to help her do the thing.
The thing is,
They'll see in the
We are
morning.
being watched, so
They'll see in the
perhaps
morning.
like the act of doing it would be an interesting viewer experience.
And the moment you've done it, I'm going to see it on second watch. So,
Maybe.
Alright.
So,
But you do notice that Amber is wearing her cloak and hood when you go on second watch.
to sleep.
To sleep.
You've done something.
I know what she's done.
She's glued something to her face.
I mean, it is Amber.
No, I know exactly what she's done.
Me too.
alright, you guys finish off.
You guys were privy to the conversation. So.
You guys finish off your first watch, and you do what you do. You fall asleep. You wake up specifically
Yeah.
early enough to do the next watch. You've already sort of like hop back into bed and giggling a little bit as you do it, because I know what you're like, with your cloak over your head.
She's giggling a little bit, but this is
Standing a bit
probably.
higher.
Yeah.
Shut up, you.
She's added something to seem higher.
Then you guys finish off your watch, and it's mostly uneventful. You said you hear in the distance the cows and the sheep and the farms.
Shit.
And then the third watch kicks in, and then you all wake up in the morning.
Right. Let's go.
How's a good trance, you guys? I feel very refreshed.
My beard is more luscious.
Imperious.
Hmm.
Do you want me to break that? You notice that
I
her,
notice what I notice.
her beard is much more well and elaborately groomed and purposely braided. It's very like 2 bits here, big one in the middle, and it's like a square braid. It's like very dwarven. It's even got little bits of like metal through it and this and that. And then the whole sides of her head are shaved.
Hey, you don't look like you've got roadkill strapped to your
And you
face
have a mohawk?
anymore.
And it's not quite a mohawk. It is because she didn't want to cut the length of her hair, so it's a massive braid, but it's like huge. It's like up here, like it comes up.
Kind of like a braided mohawk, but without the sticking up. At the top,
Yeah,
so
instead of
it
sticking
goes
up, it's
back.
curved, and it comes all the way back into this big, long braid down her back.
Yeah, she looks very much more like how you would envision a sophisticated dwarf might look like.
And as you're like examining her, Rowan's just
You're
standing
looking
there.
quite smart today. Very proper, prim and proper.
I haven't...
You look like some of the diplomats that used to come into Estra.
Oh, she also has some tattoos on the side of her head, which her hair had been covering before, just like basic markings, very dwarven, square. Well, it feels a bit strange. I haven't worn my hair
Probably
like this.
the most likely tattoo you would have for the rituals that you would go through as the people that you are.
Yeah.
Probably for you would be a wolf.
Yeah.
It's usually one of the very first early ones. The big, kind of like giant dire
But it's still very almost Nordic
Yeah.
in its design. It's just like the one wolf on one side. Actually, yeah. And probably something mirroring it on the other side. I haven't worn a hairstyle like this, or my beard like this, I will admit, since I left college.
It's also intentionally kind of masculine as a style as well. Wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it's a little bit more square, like masculine-ish.
Yeah.
But she's very androgynous in general, so...
And as she's like talking about this, Rowan's just like simultaneously like proud of her, but also braiding the discarded hair into string.
Fair enough, there's a lot of discarded hair, like
Waste
a
not,
lot.
want not.
What are you going to use that for, Rowan? That's disgusting.
I washed it first.
My hair, I'm not as dirty as you seem to think I am. You are clearly dirtier. Have you
string is
seen your own
useful.
hair today?
My clothes are dirty. I'm clean.
When was the last time you bathed? I mean, I know I don't bathe, but when was the last time you bathed?
None of you have bathed for a while. It's been a good week at least.
Prestidigitation, thank you very much.
I was a squirrel 2 weeks ago. I bathed then. I used my tongue and everything.
Amir is basically constantly
Free
doing
room is
it
free
for
room.
me.
I was gonna say, Amir's probably like, I can't deal with the smell of you people prestidigitation.
Yeah, it's like you get presentation every
Like,
morning.
yeah.
And if he was here, he'd make some bad joke about it.
He would. He definitely would.
And then Rowan just skunking people for funsies.
That's
We
it.
haven't done that in a while.
That doesn't like hang around.
We need
though.
to do that in the
Yes,
next city.
yes, we do. It is gun people in the next city. Oh, it's Ponzi nobles. But no, what hit him?
You guys head off for the morning and start traveling down the valley as yourself. The scenery that you were used to with the greenery and the trees and everything else. The valley walls are widening up now. In fact, you're also starting to see it flatten out a little bit. So as the walls are starting to shrink, and then the valley floor that you're traveling along is starting to meet the upper floor itself in the distance. As you were traveling along, you notice that there is actually wooden fences now dotting the landscape with various sheep and cattle in there.
Ooh.
Seems like you're at the outskirts of one of the outer farms of Musalon, for lack of a better way of putting it.
Ooh.
You travel for probably another half hour and you see a homestead.
Hey guys, look, a house.
Mostly built from the materials in the area. So you're seeing a base of stone, as well as the maple trees utilizing for the framework itself of the place, as well as dried grass, thatch, of course, to make the roof and stuff. A trail of smoke coming from a chimney, of course. And yeah, you hear banging of metal against metal from the house.
Metal. Probably blacksmith. Probably not quality, but might be useful.
You don't know. We don't know. They might be great.
Let's just keep on going.
Amber looks around and goes, why not?
Tell you what. Here. Chuck you 20 gold. Go buy the best weapon you've got. As a dare. Bet you it's garbage. And I keep walking on down the road.
Okay. She wanders off to go talk to wherever the hammering's happening.
Okay,
or the
so it's a little
clanking.
bit-
They might have
off the
materials that I'll need. I'll come along.
Yeah, it's a little bit off the path.
You too?
I need
Fine.
materials.
Right. I follow him and
Yeah, alright, so you're all starting heading towards the house.
I'm like, oh, okay.
It's alright! I'll look after your fucking caravan again.
thank you, Valen. I just keep walking.
Yeah, I'll walk up
It's
as well.
my name on this shit, so if you ever lose, I can say it.
Don't worry, Amir and Antoine are keeping you company.
Amir's taking a shit and it smells.
Well, Antoine, I think is asleep.
Stay here, precipitation.
And Volcus should be in there, I think. Has anyone checked on him lately?
He's
Alright,
Maybe he's
so
communing with
the
his
rest of the
god.
caravan is because the caravan is slow, so you've got a fair amount of time. You can probably just walk ahead or even jog a little bit ahead of the actual group. So they've got some sort of time, sort of catch up, have a talk with them, do what you need to do, and then catch up with the caravan as it travels through. So the rest of them are still on the caravan itself, traveling up the thing with the very slow ox.
Oh, I don't know.
You approach the house, and you're hearing ching, ching. And it stops for the briefest moment. You hear,
Hello?
can I help you?
You Smith?
I smith my own stuff.
We were having an argument. Amber thinks your stuff is top quality. I say we can't see that unless we've seen it.
What? I didn't say that.
That's not even a proper sentence.
I'll just kick her in the knee behind me.
Ow! I'd kick your ass.
Shut up.
She kicks you in the butt in retaliation.
I'm just
Well,
ignoring
who are you again?
Oh my
her. I'm
god.
really.
Is that a domesticated dog? I've never seen one of those before. Hello, puppy!
It like races up to you. It's like one of these big sort of like Great Danes, so it's like loping towards you.
Yes.
Do-do.
That'll be
You're excited, and Emma's like, "Ah!"
that'll be so
This is the
much
hugest dog she's ever seen.
better.
She's probably never actually
for-
seen a dog.
for blending in and smelling things and being a wolf in a city.
Hi, really? I'm Bob.
Nice to meet you, Bob. What are you smithing?
Well, I'm just fixing some horseshoes here for my horses.
Have horses?
Do you have horses?
Can I see it?
I'm a farmer. Of course I got horses. We always need horses for farming.
We're actually in the market for horses.
Well, I've only got one horse, so I need to make sure my horse is staying right here.
Yeah, unfortunate.
Do you know if anyone around here is actually selling or breeding horses?
Oh, well, it could be Amanda. She's quite good at selling horses. She's breeding a few out here. It's probably, I don't know, 2-3 hours sort of walk from over here. Just keep traveling down the path, and she'll be on your left.
Thank you very much. We'll give him a few copper coins as a thank you.
Oh, thank you. That's much mighty appreciated for you. You know, well, they say, give a good.
Can I inspect the little horseshoe?
Absolutely.
The shoe horse.
Horseshoe.
Just a small little horse.
Made out of
But
shoes.
he's already wearing them too. So they just like stand still and the horse moves for him.
Oh my god.
God
I'm giving
damn it.
everyone that visual now. Everyone on streams will be
God damn it.
I don't like it.
If I get a miniaturization spell, then I could make it happen.
Roger chooses to pass the spell.
Can I just inspect the...
Yeah, it's just a
horseshoe?
very, very basic horseshoe. From what you can gather, he's got a couple of them there actually, and they're just bent out shape.
So they're relatively crap.
Pretty much. They're functional, that's about it.
Here you go, Amber. Here you can buy the wonderful blacksmithing of Bob.
Bob?
Bob.
And I just like nod slowly with my eyebrows
But I don't need
raised.
horseshoes.
It's-
I'm not a horse.
When you see the back area that he's actually got all this stuff in, it's not like a proper forge or any particular sense for making armor weapons or anything like that.
It's literally just a backyard
Pretty
thing for
much.
himself.
Fix a
Just,
few tools here
Yeah.
and there type thing.
so
It's
he doesn't have to
nothing
pay a
spectacular.
blacksmith to
No.
do it.
Unfortunately, we are not going to find a quality weaponsmith here.
Door.
I wasn't looking
Where are
for
you
it.
guys come from?
North.
North?
North.
You don't look like you're traveling from the north.
No, we went
I see a
south.
caravan out the road over there traveling north.
We went past last night and we're coming back up. We're just here to sightsee.
Do a deception roll.
Oh no.
I am from the north, though.
Garbage.
What'd you
He's.
get?
Oh.
Don't look!
What'd you get?
I'll tell you.
So. Deception 4.
You've got a negative 2.
Wow!
So do I.
Wow! Forget
I'm not a
that's
liar!
right. So why did you lie?
Even
I've
Amber's
got
gonna
a
look
+4.
at you. Even Amber's gonna look at you like,
Camera.
Don't worry.
oh, he didn't know the camera was facing that way now.
That's one of our players, by the way. We're gonna have a break soon, so we're
We
gonna
will
wait
be in the sig.
for that. Alright, yes.
We're coming from the south now, right?
Look, we've
Which
been on
means
a...
we must have been in the north in the first place to come from the south.
I love your dog.
He's like distracted from the dog. Yeah,
And
he's
I'm
pretty
immediately
good.
just like disengage.
Disengage. Yeah.
He's so big. He's so big and so friendly.
Oh my god, hang on. Let me clarify. And Amber's gonna tell him in a very...
Hello. How you doing?
Good.
Oh, you're such a good boy. Would you like some jerky?
What's jerky?
It's meat.
You'll get it. Oh fuck.
Guys, I love animals so much.
Amber's gonna look at Rayleigh really like, that was the worst lie. Like, just the face. Like, she was like...
I knew I was never going to get away with the lie, but I was going to spin a bullshit enough story that he's going to think that anything we're saying is full of crap. Therefore, he's going
But
to either
Amber doesn't know that.
pass us off as unusual and therefore just forget about it, or just stop caring.
But Amber's confused. She's like, what?
Don't worry.
She's gonna turn to the guy and go, let me clarify, and tell him completely out of order, backwards, as she does, that she comes from the northern dwarves, the mountains,
Wait,
and
if you're
about
going
their
backwards,
story.
are you going right back to through Montanoil's story?
No.
No,
Okay.
just a bit.
No, she hasn't gotten that far. I assume he's gonna, like, stop her before she gets that far. She's gonna start, like...
He doesn't actually stop you. He'll like.
But she's telling him about where she came from, not so much
she
where
briefly?
they've been.
Don't
But
worry.
I'm a northern
This
dwarf
could
from
go
the
for some
mountains,
time.
and she just babbles.
Do I just walk away?
Yes.
I do.
We typically do.
Well, I'm glad I could help you out.
Imperius will
Tell
just
you
start
what.
like slowly shifting her out the door as she's still talking.
Well, I mean, I am from the north.
I got some bread and stuff if you want. If you're a bit hungry,
I
you
could
travel
do
a
with
bit.
some bread, yes.
It's a bit dry. I did it this morning, a little bit salty too, but you know it's pretty good.
That'll do.
And some cheese.
Looking around at the place, what is these living
that one?
conditions?
It's basically just a single house. It's not badly made.
Simple.
It looks-
Does it
yeah,
look
this
like
looks-
he's actually got resources from the area enough
Yes.
to survive?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. He's got like fenced off areas. It looks like a good 20 head of sheep by the looks of it. So he's doing pretty
He's
good.
doing pretty good for himself.
Mm.
And he's probably got, knowing him, he's probably got family too. So you haven't seen the rest of his family. They're probably out in the fields tending the sheep.
Can you tell me about the Black City?
I can tell you it's a city and kind of a bit black. What do you want to know about it?
Just about layout.
areas I should see?
Well, I haven't been to the Black City for a few days at least, but I pop in every once in a while. Well, you see, I don't actually go into the Black City itself because it's a bit hard. Kind of like associate myself with the folk outside of the town and that little shanty town they got going. You see, there are a lot of nicer folk out there, but they're stuck in a bit of a situation, you see, because the Black City is kind of like stuck out in the middle of nowhere. If you manage to get out of that fucking place and you manage to sort of realize that once you're outside of those walls, you have nowhere else to go. So everyone basically just shacks up in the shanty town and it just keeps growing and growing. And the people who own the place, the Black City itself, don't give a shit about it. Usually most cities don't let shanty towns sort of mingle because, you know, there's a fire risk amongst other things. But no, they don't give a shit, and this basically just grows as people try and leave, and some people who arrive into the Black City thinking they get themselves an opportunity here and there, sometimes end up destitute and also get stuck there. One of those things that just kind of happens, I guess.
Fair enough. Thank you.
Now be careful in that particular part of the world. It's not nice like it used to be. Long time ago, before the Bretons were over there, it was a nice place, beautiful place.
Has you and your family lived here for long?
Well, in this particular area, we were stuck in that shanty town ourselves for quite a bit. Not long after the plague in that area, like this is a couple of years ago now, after Moussalon took over the Great Betrayal, as they call it in some places. And yeah, they kind of like took over and the place just fell to shit after that. And then, yeah, the big fire and the plague, everything going bad you could possibly think of. We got stuck for a while. Most people didn't come to the Bone Valley because they were kind of a bit scared of what was going on here. But, you know, some of us a little bit braver, destitute, depending on what word you want to use. But we decided we'll stick it out because it couldn't be any worse than where we were. And here we are now in this place. We're right on the edge of all this, and it's been pretty good so far. I haven't suffered any of the rumors of the Walking Dead or anything like that in this area.
No, those are a bit further south.
You mean there actually are Walking Dead?
Well, yes. You don't suppose these rumors just come about from nothing, do you?
You've heard some of the rumors I've heard in my time and never ever seen anything about it.
Yeah, I heard there was a dragon around here.
I heard there was a dragon too.
No, we
Never
killed
seen
that.
myself. You what? Did you kill a dragon?
Yes, I think she confused the lizard in the forest for a dragon. I don't know. Her head.
It was quite a large lizard. I can understand.
It was a big lizard.
No,
I assume that's another deception check.
Yes, it's another.
As
check.
I kick.
I was going to say, I'm going to
Ah.
use message and just go, Amber, we don't really want to broadcast this.
I'm surprised you didn't just
I'll let
say
you
her
roll
Amber,
again
shut
because
up.
he's giving you an assist.
Yeah, he helped.
He rolled just as.
God
I was going to say,
damn.
see,
Lucky!
maybe I should be the one rolling for this.
No, lucky is 0. So
17.
No, you
I know,
was-
I
you
know.
was-
I
I
got
know.
6.
You got 6. 6 or 6.
6.
Oh,
No, 6,
God.
4 or 0.
To be fair,
Bear.
how likely is he to believe that we killed a dragon?
He's not that likely that
Oh no.
he's like dragon, eh? All right, sure.
Right. Like snail.
Oh.
Ale. Probably a bit early today for that, but what have you got?
Homebrew.
I wouldn't.
You just takes a sip to say that. I don't believe anything you say so far. He just takes a good word to sip.
It's more fun that way.
It's a bit like, you know, very light, very sort of mild,
A bit buddy.
a bit buddy.
Oh, that's because my best friend doesn't drink. Well, I do have a stronger one. I feel like at some point she did have a separate bottle, but that's her
You got a
endless
hot
one.
one. You got ale from the actual Dwarven Citadel stuff we used.
Yeah, no, I never wrote it down, so I don't remember what I had.
You got a small now. We'll say like a barrel that size, give or take.
Okay, but she
Yeah,
never
yeah.
used it. She
Oh,
just
yeah.
has held on to it.
Mm.
She's always had her little refillable
Tank it,
one.
yeah, no, refillable tank it, yeah.
Oh, by the way.
Yeah?
Caltrops. Can you make them? Do you know what the caltrop is?
I might be able to make it, but yeah, that's the question. What's a caltrop?
I do a quick sketch of
I mean, like,
effectively
I've seen my
barbed wire.
cows drop, but not a caltrop.
Effectively just 2 nails welded in the center, like that. Is all you
What's
need.
Yeah, I can
welding?
do that. Here, let me have a look. Yeah, I can do some of that. That's not too difficult.
No.
How many are you looking at?
10.
Yeah, I can do 10. Let me just skim around here a little bit, see what I got spare. Yeah, all right, I can do that. It'll probably take me half an hour. You got that time?
Half a day.
Half an hour.
An hour.
I'm just rolling in the grass with this dog. I'm having the best time.
Are you happy for us to wait for me to collect some supplies?
It does not bother me. Rest would be nice. Being caught up in that caravan for too long.
Rather than 10, can you do a few more than that?
Well, it's gonna take me a bit of time. I've only got a certain amount of supplies. I mean, it's not a money issue or anything like that. I just don't physically have the supplies to sort of do more than probably 10.
Right.
By the way, what livestock do you have?
Well, I've also got sheep here. I got a few bits of cattle over there. Cows, of course. They're mostly for just something different than lamb. But, you know, they're sort of just kicking in there for when the winter comes in.
Do you have any skins or spare wool or anything that I
We
could
definitely got
potentially
some wool. Yeah, we got
purchase?
lots of that. Sell lots of wool. Yeah.
Do you have any I could possibly purchase at the moment?
Let's see. Well, unfortunately, the biggest problem we have right now is we're getting into the end of summer, so we've already did a bit of a shear beforehand, so they're only just starting to bulk up now.
What about any skins?
Skins, so let's see what I got. Well, naturally looking for you, I seem to have something very special for you.
Naturally.
Yeah, naturally.
Was that natural 20?
Natural 20.
Oh my god.
I got something special for you. You've heard of a black sheep?
Mm,
It's
yeah.
like a very interesting sort of, well, we don't normally get black sheep. We don't know why they exist, but they just do every once in a while.
So it's a sheep that's black.
Yeah,
Right.
like the wool's black, the skin's black, everything's black. Completely black. Black wool. It's magnificent. People pay a pretty penny for the black wool.
I was gonna
I've been
say,
saving this one for a while.
how much are you looking for that?
I reckon I can get 20 gold pieces for it.
I could pay that if you wish.
Alright, 20 gold pieces.
Done.
Alright, there you go. You got yourself a pelt of black sheep wool.
What do you need that much wool for?
You never know.
Fashion.
Do you have, like, say, a handful of off-clots as well?
Yeah, it's like holy. You say it went over to like a big bale of wool,
Yeah.
essentially, which is basically just put tied together and stuff like that. Yeah, that's kind of like the offsets over there. Well, usually it can be turned into a wool of some particular type, but
Just
because
some-
it's just the offcut stuff like that, it's a little bit more difficult. But I usually keep it for my own stuff. But if you're looking for a few bits and pieces here and there, by all means, go over there.
I just walk over, grab a handful.
Yeah.
I assume he's got a trough nearby,
Yep.
with water or something.
Yep.
Just start rinsing it and wringing it out to
Yep.
get it clean a bit.
It's not won't be a full drop. Won't have any water into it, but there'll just be a water pump
Yeah,
in
just
the area.
cleaning
Just
it.
clean
a
up
little
some,
bit.
get some water. It's kind of like a dirty water, but it will do the trick.
Yeah.
You might want to pee in a bucket and clean it that way, I think.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Does
Do
he
you
have
mind?
any Does he have-
pass it to him and
does he have
walk
any
away?
cured leather at all? Any cured leather?
Cured leather. Do I have any cured leather?
Like even just for like belting or anything like that?
Yeah, I got some of that too. Yeah. If you want to buy some of that, it's a bit more expensive, of course, because leather's not that easy to get. But I got a few bits and pieces here and there.
If you've got a few skins at all, or
I probably got like half a quarter of a cow. Would that do the trick?
yes, plenty. That's
All right, quarter of a cow. I reckon probably 8 gold pieces.
Done.
It's a lot of money. Good heavens.
Why not ring the adventurers out of whatever money I can?
Yes, I figure.
I mean, you seem like a good man. Happy to help.
Well, I hope everyone on the stream appreciates my silly accent.
This is more
Well,
money.
no one's left yet, so that's supposed to be a good sign.
This is more money than that man has made in 2 years. He's getting in a single day.
That may be true. That may be true.
He's literally just one memory.
Thanks, Zen.
He's He's the master bluffer at this stage. He's playing it super cool, but in his head he's doing cartwheels. He's going, "Oh my god, it's actually working!"
In passive insight, I can tell he's full of shit, and he goes, "That's a lot of money for you, isn't it?"
Yeah, I'll keep going out through the window. It's coming.
Yeah, it's all good.
It's alright, I'm happy to pay.
It's on the condition that we went here.
No one comes to this particular part of the world, my friend. I don't even know anyone I'm going to tell. I'm probably going to forget who you are in a couple of weeks by the time the next person comes around.
Excellent. Keep drinking then.
Like, well, I can't keep drinking. There's chores to be done here, and there's no one else around. The boys are out in the fields at the moment looking after the sheep where they can. But, you know, there's chores to do. With life, isn't that relaxing around here? Every day is a bit of a hard work. You know that? We don't get the choice to sort of travel around the world and slay dragons.
That would be ridiculous.
I will let you get back to your work.
Well, look, do you want some, like, bread and cheese and whatnot before you head off? Do you still want those caltrops?
Anywhere's
You
better
could
than
sit
here.
down for a bit, have a bit of a rest.
Maybe just 20. I could.
I could all probably do 10 with the materials that I got in hand.
That will do. How much?
I'd always say, like, maybe 2 gold pieces.
That'll do. Like, Jesus Christ, you're expensive, man.
So because you can't wait to get to the actual city itself to do your purchases, you decide to ask me for buying stuff. So you know what? I'll just make up prices on the spot.
There's just some random guy on the side of the road.
Yes. But I do appreciate talking to someone new, even if they lied through their ass about coming from the city. Can I say that out loud?
Oh,
Just
I
a
never-
little bit.
I never said I was from the city.
And you, my friend,
I
lied
come
through
from
the ass
the
about the cost of all your shit.
northern mountains. You know where the dwarven trade route is.
Oh yeah, I haven't been to that particular part of the world in quite some time.
Weren't you listening to me before?
I sort of
Don't
zoned out.
worry, we don't either.
I sort of zoned out after you said, "Hi, I'm Amber."
I'm gonna
I
run
never
off
said I was Amber.
That's how quickly he zoned down.
After having heard that the Drake plans on us staying for a while, I'm gonna run off after the cart and tell them to turn back around and stop for a bit.
Okay,
The boys.
You do get the boys.
The boys!
It's like they see you rock up to the caravan itself, saying, "Hey, we're going to stop here for a bit, have some lunch, and all that type of jazz." And you got like this dog next to you.
Does the dog know his own name?
Yeah, he does. It's stupid.
Hey guys, we're just gonna stop for a bit. This is stupid. He's the best. Look at him. Oh, he's such a good boy. Look at him. He's such a good boy. Oh.
Is he actually stupid?
I left the farm and went to get those
Yeah,
guys at the caravan.
Alrighty.
So they're turning around. Perhaps we shall do a thing.
Alright, just heads off
I mean,
back to the farm.
it's like-
Yes, I was going to get to that.
Yes.
Because I did do.
I know, so do I. Alright, we're going to have a quick break. So we'll be back in about 15-20 minutes. We'll have the other players finally jump in because now they've arrived. They're just sitting in my kitchen at the moment of time. And we will come back in about 15-20 minutes and have a break. I've switched everything off at this present moment in time so I can reopen it again so I can go into a break. We'll be back and we'll continue on with this little adventure of ours. welcome back to the Salted Dragon Tavern. And yes, I now have the remaining of my players who are going to come tonight. I've returned to the table. I've gone for the wrong. I've gone for the wrong screen.
It's only you.
So I will now go to the right screen where I actually show the people who have arrived.
It is me.
Excellent.
Yeah, card troubles are awesome, and I love cards so much.
Can you fix Chris and Ash's camera? Just tilt it towards Ash just slightly.
We're good.
I'm good.
Oh wait, there's,
Because he's missing half
That's
his arm.
the mouse.
Oh,
Or maybe you guys just need to like.
That's enough.
Shut
That
Yeah,
looks
you guys
that
look
looks
really separate,
that looks
that's
so
fine.
good. On stream, it's just Chris going. There's something. Because he's
mouse
looking at
pointer.
your computer where he can see the mouse.
The mouse pointer, yeah.
yeah, no, we're gonna be apart. No homo here.
All of the homo.
Joking.
Okay.
Later.
Hopefully that
Later.
works.
All
Two
of
fingers.
the
Two fingers.
cuddles are over
I
here.
was going to make it punishing.
In case anyone's actually watching this thing and thinking that Chris is a homophobe, I have two gay people at this particular table that no one actually knows.
Oh, dude, I grew up with my dad thinking I was gay until I was about 16, and he would point out attractive dudes to me. No, seriously, and I would go, yeah, I really like him, but his haircut's stupid, and I would play on it. I would amp him up. It was so funny.
Hey.
So he thought he was picking out guys who I thought attractive, and in reality, I was just making him go through a fruitless endeavor, which
Hey,
was.
I've got a way better story
So
than that.
what you're saying is, even as a little kid, you were a dick.
Oh, absolutely!
Sounds believable.
Just not into the dick.
About 2 or 3 years ago, was it?
Yeah, about that.
About 2 or 3 years ago, I was at my nephew's birthday party, and we were outside with my dad, and we were having a chat. We were about to go back inside. He's like, "No, wait a sec. I have to tell you something." And he thinks there for a second. He's like, and as he was trying to think of what to say, my brother went, "Oh, what are you gonna do? Tell us you're gay?"
Yes. Yes, I
I
am.
was going to make a competition on the street and see if they could pick the two gay people at the table, but you've already given away one of them.
But it was like, he's like, "Yes, actually, I am," and I'm sitting there thinking, it's about fucking time, because I've known since I was like
Who?
this big.
Who? Your dad? Or?
Yeah. Well, I knew that my brother wasn't putting all of the questionable images on the computer, and the only other person that used it was my dad. So I'm like, these are coming from somewhere.
Alright, welcome back
That's
everyone.
funny.
For the first half of the stream, so the other people would get an idea of what's going on, so if they were watching the stream or not, why have you got chips in a bag?
Why are they green?
Wasabi.
That sounds
So
disgusting.
who
Try
wants to
one.
try some?
I have no interest.
They missed
Wasabi
out on
is-
their beginning before the stream interruption-y stuff,
I
you know?
know, but
No,
then,
I watched it for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And then
Don't
We
worry,
were
we
really
have
No, I
no-
turned to him and I
away.
said, they're running 15 minutes
Don't
behind.
worry, it's been a really boring game because Tim hasn't put anything
Shut up,
exciting.
you.
Hey!
I heard
hey,
that.
Next
I-
thing,
This is
twin
what
hydras.
haircut.
this is what I hear.
Do wielding
We
hydras.
stopped to the first house on the outskirts of civilization. We stopped to have a chat.
Hi, my name's
You
Hydra.
missed
Suddenly
it.
Trask.
And he goes,
Hi,
"We've
my
met
name's
one person."
Hydra
I said,
Bob.
one whole person, or is it like two halves of a person? I said, is it two halves of a person not yet? And I said, it depends how this goes.
That's right.
Amber got a haircut.
Was it a falling axe? Just
Rowan did it. In the dead of night, you just wake up to Amber with like this like massive braid, like literally massive up to here.
Like a
Down
mohawk
all the way
braid.
down, yeah,
Mohawk
mohawk braid,
braid,
all the way down to like a
ponytail.
bum.
Braid.
And then
Braid
all
tail.
his shaved, and
Braid
she's
tail?
got like dwarven wolves tattooed on
Sounds
the
like a
side of her
weird
head,
mermaid.
Yeah.
which her hair had been hiding before.
Alright.
Actually, you know what? I've decided that just for the briefest
And her
moments...
beard is like actually properly dwarven Grumman beard.
That's not a
braided.
very good disguise, though.
What are you talking about?
hang on, before we go into the role playing, for the briefest of moments, I'm going to make the other two who haven't been here since the start. I feel like they're here at the start, just for the briefest of moments.
Nice.
Yakety sax.
Oh no, the smooth jazz. No, I heard that part.
Yeah, we heard the smooth jazz.
Alright. Alright.
I don't know why, but it just. Oh, okay.
You can play jazz flute.
They should be playing this at Tramway.
Yeah, no.
And I was just doing my inner Mick thing because he does his gesture.
One that hits you in the sinuses. It's like actual wasabi. So it's like hot English mustard.
It tastes like shit.
Get rid of that
It
shit.
tastes like the
Well,
Take it.
I got your caltrops that you wanted.
Thank you.
Got 10 of them for you. There you go.
That'll do. I think I wrote it down. I did write it down. I've got 20 now.
Make sure you pick them up this time because I don't like stepping on them.
Shut up.
I imagine that Volky has been in the cart most of this time,
All of the time.
praying because of the information that he got from Kalimvor at the end of last session.
Please don't kill me, please don't kill me, please don't kill me.
And in this short break we're having, Rowan has been spending the entire time playing with this big, a Great Dane.
Great Dane, yeah.
Yes, it's this big gorgeous Great Dane called Stupid, and he's just been having the most fun times, like playing catch and fetch and all that stuff.
Does someone own Stupid?
Yes, Bob.
I'm Bob. How are you?
I'm okay.
This is Antoine. He is our resident folk hero.
Ready to work?
He's the Dragon Slayer.
Oh, the Dragon Slayer.
Oui, it ate me and I killed it from the inside. What? I stepped it in the heart.
I don't remember this fight going the way you think it went.
What fight? Killing dragons is ludicrous. That just wouldn't make any sense.
I'm sure it wouldn't.
I could cut that tension with a knife.
Hey, Stupid, let's go play some.
Why are you calling my dog stupid?
Because
Rowan likes things that are not very smart. So if he calls your dog stupid, it's because he likes it.
The dog's not stupid.
Did Stupid tell you that was his name?
Bartholomew, would you go to your deer? I said Bartholomew, get in there. It's like looking at you, looking at the man. Come here, stupid!
See? Well,
Legit how dogs work.
Legit.
did you not see what just
On
happened?
the edge of civilization, and you run into...
Bones.
I mean,
He paid no attention to you.
I got some wool.
And then you called him stupid.
It's Bartholomew.
I'm sure that would be handy.
Most sadly, yes.
Have you tried calling him Bart?
Bart.
It's easier. Short.
Sounds like a dog barking. Bart, Bart.
We should probably go.
Sounds better than double vomit.
I think you'll find with animals that the tone of your voice is just as important as the words you say.
That's good. Yeah. All right.
I don't think he understands what tone is. Maybe he's tone deaf.
I think we should.
Like how you put.
We're looking at him like,
I think it's time we go.
yes.
Let's go.
But
Thank
I
you
just
for the
got here.
metalworking, my friend.
All right.
What is he just saying, Hannah?
He's
You
just some
sure
comment.
ya?
But it's okay.
Good
We
day.
heard that there's this horse breeder a few hours up the road, so we can maybe get
Oh,
some
get some oxen.
horses for the cart. Yes.
What are you going to do with the ox?
I think we can set him free.
So, stew.
Set him free.
Freedom through steel.
Set him free.
Free stew?
Free stew.
He's going to have a lovely time.
Oh, he'll have a lovely
Being
time until
alive.
someone captures him. And puts
Really?
him to
You
work
think he's
somewhere.
going to be able to live in this area with all the fucking dead grass?
Maybe Bob will take him.
Yeah, maybe
This
Bob.
is-
Actually,
Ah.
Bob.
We need him to get to the horse place first.
Right, let's get to the horse
Well, that's
place.
fine.
Oh my god.
We just tie a piece of string to it and he can come back this way.
Or we could sell him to the horseman to buy horses.
Yeehaw.
Oh yes, to make glue. Never mind.
Let's go to. Let's go up the road to the horse breeder.
You guys travel on the road for a bit more, jump back into your caravan, and travel towards the horse breeder. You were told it was Amanda?
Yes.
The horse breeder?
Oh, I like Amanda. Amanda, I can kiss.
I don't get it.
Never mind.
You pull up to another farm, which looks like it's a smaller farm from what you can gather, and there's definitely a set of horses out the back, and there's a few people out the back rounding them up, and there's like one standing in the center of a paddock with one of the horses on a large lead, and basically making it run around in a big circle.
Okay. I'm gonna get my anything. I have a cloak, of course. I'm going to make sure that it's covering any conspicuous druid-looking nonsense as we go into this.
As he walks up with his giant druid staff.
No, I leave that in the
Crown
car.
of leaves.
I leave the staff in the car.
Bullshit.
That's on my belt. Anyway, yes.
I love how that's in a place of convenience.
It's a bit very convenient. It's super handy to just be able to assert your will on some animals.
Or anything.
It's great being able to mind control the masses.
I like how you're so. Oh yes, I love all animals. Oh, they're not doing what I say.
I command you!
Do what I say.
Don't worry about it, you guys. It's fine.
So you start walking up the front path to the house. Then you'll walk past the house to sort of go to the back paddocks area where you're seeing most of the people, I guess.
You say, hello, I'd like to buy an ox, please. Actually, two osses.
Oh, hello, how are you?
I'm tired of traveling behind the stinking ox. I need a bit of speed.
Well, good day to you as well.
Oh, yes. Good day.
Now, can
Good
we
day,
have
man.
the horse?
Oh my god.
Cast message, really? Please. For this
Right,
one time.
Fine.
Cast message again because I assume I've wasted. Shut up.
I'm surprised you didn't tell me to shut up.
Can we buy?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm
but
getting to
said
that.
anything.
I'm getting to that.
yes,
I'll probably just go for the silence
no.
on you.
Serious not. We're here in the market for probably 2 to 4 high quality horses, and we heard you were the best.
Well, do a persuasion check.
This is why I was going to say this. Oh, it was actually pretty good.
15.
Well, it seems you have come to the right place. Especially considering I rolled a 1. That was very convincing.
And
She's
I
just
just
like,
literally just pull the cloak aside, bag of money, just chink. There's like, what, 4,000 gold coins in there. So
You're not carrying 4,000 gold.
No, in the bag of holding.
in the bag.
In the bag of holding, that's right, I forgot.
So
It
there's
won't-
my bag that's got
It's-
2,000.
But it won't, because it's in a bag of holding, it won't chink like you expect.
It always weighs the same.
There's my bag that's carrying 2,000, and then I've got the bag of holding. So 2,000 gold coins is still.
Still not carrying 2,000 gold.
you might be
You
carrying
can't
200 gold
physically-
coins.
It's fine. 200 gold coins,
That's
and then I'm
better.
like, there's another like 4,000 in the bag.
Well, in
Just
that case
horses.
then, what type of horses do you want?
Whatever I can buy with 250,000 pieces of copper.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh wait, no, I left that behind.
Actually, how many horses do you have?
Currently, I have, not many.
Oh damn it.
Did you roll one again?
I rolled a 2.
That's all right.
So you have 2 horses.
I do have 2.
Do they
I'll buy both of them.
Alright.
do they work well as a team?
That's a very good question, actually. They seem to do alright.
My
Are they
friend, he
good-
does not know this shit.
Are they good at pulling?
They don't have hands.
So, question.
Are they draft horses?
Is that a bit of a horse tennis
It is a
joke?
bit of a joke, yes. Yes, they are 2 draft horses.
It's a very good joke.
Thank you.
So you're a horse breeder
Let
who
it have
has
the roll
2
persuasion.
horses.
Do you think that we always have animals every time of the year? There are seasons and stuff. You
Right.
understand?
No, I figured you did. I'm not a
No, I
farmer.
think he's thinking if you only have 2 horses and we take them away, what do you breed with?
Yeah.
Oh, no. 2 spare horses to sell. I'm
Oh,
not going to sell
okay.
my last 2 horses to you. That's
Right.
ridiculous.
So the breeding horses, are they the studs?
Yes.
Are they better horses?
Of course they are.
Right. How much for them?
I'm not going to sell you my breeding horses because then I won't have no horses to breed with.
Right, but like we have a lot of money.
How much are you willing to offer for my prize horses?
Depends. How good are they?
Really, we don't need breeding horses.
Ah,
2
take
draft
it to the
horses will
common
be
sensible
fine.
man
I
to
agree.
speak sense.
Breeding horses would also
Are they gelded?
get a bit frisky while pulling the cart.
Right.
With the draft horses you're after? Is
Oui.
that correct? Yes.
Okay, that is fine. I know it's a horrible practice, but they are karma.
What? I missed something. What happened?
Are they gelded? Do you know what they're gelded horses?
No.
They have
That's
no
when they cut the
balls,
nuts off.
Rowan.
Because they won't try to breed with every other horse in sight.
Cow in the background.
As I said, it's a horrible practice. It is quite cruel, but it keeps them calm.
It's good for them.
It's like cats.
Yeah.
Cut the nuts off, they stop pissing on everything.
Yeah, it's good for them.
This is the worst part of civilization I've ever seen.
It's a good part.
Oh, he thinks this is the worst.
You can keep them as a snack for later.
My skunk smell really wet in the face.
You just got skunked.
I skunk really in the face for having made that comment.
He just laughs.
They're probably standing nearby, so prestidigitation.
Thank you. Damn it, I'm already falling into tobacco.
How much, my lady?
Looking at draft horses, however much they
50 gold each.
50 gold each. 75 gold
For both?
each.
Really?
How old are
Could
they?
you go down to 60?
Can I take an insight?
65.
Can I take an insight check on her for how low she
62.
can?
Hello, where she goes?
No.
62.
Can I
62?
can I do an insight check on her on how desperate she actually is for the money?
Go for it.
Jacqueline, the only horse breeder around here, she's not very desperate.
And it's like full
But
of
still they got
farms
two
and
houses.
stuff.
Plus stats, it's 20 modified.
She's not. Doesn't appear to be that desperate. In fact, the whole place looks actually quite nice, and even though she's only got 2 horses available for you to buy currently, she looks like she's got a fair few out there.
I don't know what you're looking for.
Not far off either.
No, I
You
would
look like you're doing
Fawns.
quite well off here.
She's doing alright. Yes.
How do you do so well off with prices so far
haven't seen
above what they're worth?
But not the.
Because I'm the only one out here with them.
62 is most agreeable. Yes. We'll take both of them.
Would you like an ox?
No.
Why not?
He's quite friendly.
He is, isn't he?
What would I do with an ox?
Do you?
Plow.
On the condition that you don't eat him, he's a sweetheart.
He's good at plowing fields.
And Stu.
Do I look like a farmer?
I'm sure as
sell
we
a
move
little
on,
bit,
we can
yes.
find a farm. No.
Really? I can't even disagree with that, to be honest, no.
Do you have any saddles and reins and
Bridles.
bridles and all the gear?
Bridles and tack.
I don't have saddles, but if you're looking for draft horses, then I assume you want them for your cart over there.
Yes.
You're probably not going to need saddles.
It's always good
Actually,
to have it just in case.
Unfortunately, I do not have saddles to sell.
Very well. All good.
But I do have everything else, the bits and the bridles, yes.
We will not need the bits.
How about 5 gold pieces more on top of, and then you have everything you need.
Sounds good.
See, this is what they do, Rowan. They take away the horses' bits and they give them new bits. It's the way to
Really?
be useful.
Quiet.
You're going to find yourself in trouble, my friend. I know where you sleep.
I'm currently walking back to the cart, preparing to
Disengage the
to
ox.
freeze his pillow.
You've done this before.
I have, and it's good.
Are you going to freeze it with smell?
Oh, no.
Oh yeah, skunk free, skunk free,
I'm
skunk
gonna
free.
look for a dead rat to leave on his.
You're being so disrespectful.
Just a dead rat, not like a disemboweled dead
No,
rat?
I'm already testing out the next character. Is the,
I'll pay for it all.
Okay, cool.
the next character is going to be
Oh, and food.
pretentious shit. and a
What?
lot of
Oh,
fun.
food for
Food.
you.
Food for what?
Don't worry about food. I can figure that out.
I think he means more for the animals.
Yes.
Vegans.
I can figure that
Why
out.
don't just feed them good berries?
My create food
have
and
so
water
many
spell
I know,
creates
covers a lot. I know.
covers actual.
Well, none of the
stock
rest of
levels.
us eat them, so
Just
just
stuff.
Oh, okay, if you're sure.
Yeah, every day I can create a lot of.
Is it
Food.
good food?
It's food that's nourishing. That's all that needs to happen.
I mean, it's
It's
bland.
a white paste.
It's like
It's,
the Matrix style soup.
No, it is solid green.
Silent green.
So I can create enough food to
That's been
sustain up to 15 humans or 5 steeds for 24 hours.
It's a lot of food.
Yeah,
That is a absurd amount of food.
That's a very smoky whiskey.
Yeah.
yeah.
Is
You
it?
want to try some?
Where's it from?
It's a cultural exclusive thing.
Anyway, is there anything else
Smells
that I can
salty.
help you with?
No, it should be fine.
You're a bro.
Who's
Oh,
paying
yeah,
for
the
the-
caramel ones.
Who's paying for the horses? Are we all going to chip in?
No, I paid for it.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
What are their names?
Yes, I'm going to approach these horses and say, hello.
Hey.
Hey. We're going to get along well. Okay, guys. This is Hay, and this is... Okay?
You actually asked them their name.
No,
Or
he
you
did
just
not.
going off what they say first.
He didn't. He just.
Are you saying that you just cast
Yes.
speak with animals to be able to understand what I was saying? Okay, fine. Excuse me, horses. What are your names?
Hey.
And you?
You, Tim. I'm gonna throw something in his face.
And you?
Don't do it.
Do it.
Can't do it now. It's flying.
Get the other one to say hey as well. Hey, it's Saturday. It's a Sunday.
God, that's horrible. That's horrible.
Hey is a chicken.
It's my spirit
Rooster,
animal.
actually.
Yes.
Your spirit animal is a chicken.
No. Hey is
Specifically, hey.
Alan Tudyk. I went to Julia.
Oh, the hey chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a pretty good spirit.
Hey. Best acted chicken ever.
It was great chicken.
So,
What are you talking about?
Hey, it's Saturday's
Hey!
chicken.
Moana.
From Moana.
Moana,
No,
yeah.
no,
Hey
So-
from Moana is.
So, second horse, what's your name?
no. Oh.
Oh,
God, hey.
Hey.
okay, guys.
Oh.
Hey, this is Ho.
Oh.
That's
Why
not
is
very
it called
polite.
hell?
What?
What?
Hey ho, that's not very polite.
That's their
No.
names.
No. This one's Hay.
Not a
Also,
description.
I'm so sorry for how you've been treated here.
I'm very
It
confused.
was so cruel of them to
Chop off your nuts.
mutilate you.
What are you saying?
I am. I'm
He's
tra-
apologizing
I'm-
to the
He's
horses.
basically standing he's going.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I figured that's all I'm seeing. I'm like,
That's what it sounds like.
what is going on here?
He's talking to the horses.
What's he saying?
I'm very good at this.
He's apologizing for the fact that they got their nuts cut off.
Can I take an insight check on the horse to see how it's responding to this reminder of its
Go.
nuts being chopped
Go
off?
for it. Go for it.
Which one do you reckon?
12.
You don't really know. It's
Yeah.
not
I know
easy.
the.
Yeah.
Robin,
Yes.
Ash, would you like to be reminded every time that, if something of yours was cut off?
No. But I still want to
But-
sympathize with. the
Oh, you
horse.
can sympathize, that's fine. But don't go, hey, sorry you got your nuts cut off.
Maybe you should empathize and put yourself in their shoes.
That was terrible.
He can't. He's only got 2 feet.
Boom.
2 feet. Fair enough.
So, hey and ho.
Rowan, if you don't mind, I would like to name them.
Sorry?
I would like to name them.
They already have names.
They're not very good ones.
No, I asked them what their names were and they told me.
Perhaps ask them if they like Seraph and Cassiel.
What?
Those are very fancy.
I don't
fancy
think
names.
that's a good idea. They won't respond to that. It's quite complicated. Excuse me, hey.
Hey.
Would you like to be called Seraphim?
Seraph.
Seraph?
Hey.
Nah.
Rowan,
What? But he's such a nice name, and it's so much easier to say.
oh, do you want to call it grass instead?
It doesn't roll off the tongue like hey. What if we're in a hurry?
You say grass!
Hey.
No, hey,
Hey!
it's too soft then. It's like, hey, can you like hurry up instead of grass, move!
Yes,
It works much better.
he's saying it like hey, but you can just say hey.
colour
Was
are
it
they?
different there?
Yes.
That's like that dark brown. One of them has like the white nose happening. The other one has like white socks happening.
Right, so it's a horse.
Hang on a second.
So one's
I'm
called
gonna make
socks.
I want to make a religion check to see if I can understand any cultural significance behind these names.
The hey and ho.
No,
Seraphim.
the name that you suggested, because it
You
sounds
won't
like
recognize those names, 'cause
it's-
it sounds
I
like they're
do.
celestial.
it sounds like
They are celestial.
Seraphim is the name
you
for
want
the
to call
angels.
them angel and demon, basically.
No, they're just name of celestials.
The name of celestial beings, not demons.
What was the second one?
Cassiel.
Ah, yeah, never mind.
Cassiel or Castiel?
Cassiel.
Yeah, that's
As in,
it.
if you go play D3, you'll find Cassiel.
But we should
They're the
move
names
on.
of angels.
Yes, I will talk.
Seraphim is the
I will
name
talk to
for
the horses
angels.
as we
So
go.
Seth and
Well,
Cass.
high angels.
Thank you for your horses,
Hi.
lady.
That is very good to see
They're
you
ranks
again.
within the angels.
Good to see you again. We just
Yeah,
Hands are called
good
blood.
to see you. And
No,
Pray
you did.
tell, where are you going? You seem to be heading from the south.
Oh, yes, of course.
Oh, no.
And I pull out 100 gold
Down, still
pieces.
cold.
That is to stop asking questions and to stop remembering us. And then walk away.
Someone take the
She
money
like
off him,
comes
please.
up, just doesn't say a word anymore. Basically comes, grabs the bag, turns around, and walks off down the back.
Fixed. Let's go.
it's a lot of money to bribe someone.
It's enough. It's out of my money. Just
Yes.
And the odd you would stab them and steal it back.
I don't need the money to survive. If I need something, I'll steal it.
My answer code.
This might keep us alive just as
Oh
long.
yeah, I'm warming up his hands because they're freezing.
This might keep us alive just as long. Being less known in these parts is probably as useful as any dagger. Let's go.
Doesn't work because it's cold too. It's fine.
Yes, let's also press on.
Hey ho, let's go.
Hey, ho.
No.
Let's hey ho, let's go. Hey ho.
Rowan,
Yep.
how much money does it take the horses to shut up?
Oh, it's not the horses, that's the problem.
I'm saying it's in horse though, so it's just nays and whinnies. It's not all.
I think to myself, if you had a smaller wisdom score, I would so cast whole person.
Me?
No, him.
I would crush
Actually,
that
it's both
save.
of you. Every now and again, I'll alternate him then you. Like, shush.
Need a sorcerer.
Doesn't stop them
Dual
talking.
cast.
You need silence.
I'm going, as we're proceeding, I'm going to look for somebody who looks like they make clothes on the side of the road.
We're talking like farmlands out in the middle of nowhere, essentially.
Okay, somebody who makes fabric. Is that more doable?
Not really, no.
Okay.
Most likely you could find from the sheep person that you managed to find at the very front. They'll just get the raw materials and send them off to whoever wants to turn them into whatever they need to turn them into.
And they do that. And they do that in a city.
Yeah.
Fair. Okay.
Well, not always in the city, but generally, yeah.
Understandable.
Depends on the operations and practices in the area, but that is the most likely scenario.
Yes,
Most places would have like a place just outside of the city to refine it into a fabric, and then they'd send the fabric into the city to then be.
Inherently, what they would do is that, like in the villages, that they would all the wool would be basically taken from the villages on the outsides of town, put them into town, and then they collect people's piss from everywhere, put them all into a big tub, and basically sit there and
tan it.
But they once they've actually weeded it all together, that's when they use the urine to get rid of all the wax and oil out of it, so it becomes a usable fabric.
Okay, well then I'm looking for something else. I'm looking for a field that has ox that look a lot like our ox.
It's mostly sheep and cows.
Okay.
How about that one?
No, it's just mostly empty.
Then it's got more space for itself.
No, I want to be someone useful. Ooh, how about that one? And I just point to a field of cows.
Yep.
I'll say, okay, here's my plan.
You're going to reverse thieve an ox into someone's... Like, is this like cattle rustling in reverse or something?
This
How
is
illegal
called
is this?
This is called being nice.
Volkia, how illegal is this?
Would I know?
Does this field have...
You're giving someone a free animal. I don't think they'd mind. It's an ox that's powerful enough to plough multiple fields.
Does this field have a gate that connects to the main road?
To the main road?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, no, it would.
Okay, yeah. I'm just going to go up to open it up and say, no, please come this way.
It's like one of the cows starts like coming up and ding 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 ding.
You say,
ding, ding,
"Murr." I don't know.
Nods to the cow.
Yeah,
Cow nods to the ox.
I'm going to encourage the ox to just go into the field.
He's like, and walks off into the field.
And I'll close the gate back behind them and say, it was fun, and then leave.
That could have been useful, you know.
Why?
Well, we could have come across another dragon and give it as an offering.
Yeah, but I kind of stole him a little bit.
Yeah, right. So
I'm giving him back.
To the wrong person.
I can't give him back to the right person, so I'm going to give him to someone.
Right. Okay.
You have a weird code of ethics, George.
And then I just slowly start reaching into my path and say, hey, Volkia, want some shit?
Okay, it's steal from the poor, they give to the poor, yes?
Give them to someone. Rowan says it's okay as long as I give you all the shit I've stolen. And I start just like putting things on the table because I seem like just going to sort in the big knacks of shit I'm stolen at some point.
Somewhat.
Yeah. So
Is it
start,
shit
like,
or is
passing,
it shit?
Like the good shit.
No, you had to get rid of all the shit that fit the coin in.
So only so many pennies you can carry around to make smoke bombs with?
My haversack currently has 3 pounds of capacity left. It's not pretty.
Yeah, you guys are carrying around a
Oh,
lot.
you can fit 3 cow pats in that.
I would not. Okay, let's
That's
carry
smoke bombs.
Shall we move on?
Yes.
Let us move.
You travel on for a few more hours and the
whips.
sun starts setting over the horizon. You pull up to the side of the road next to one of the stone fences and wooden fences in the area and set yourself up another camp for the evening. You have yourselves your evening meal. You now have 2 draft horses sitting on your caravan.
Hey ho, let's go.
So you are traveling a bit faster.
Shut up.
You are traveling a bit faster because they can deal with the weight a bit better. It's being distributed between 2 of them. In the morning, after you've done your watches and stuff like that, listen to the cows as they
Copulate.
Why would anyone
This is not
want to-
Quest again, damn it!
Why would anyone want to live
Like
in
the
this
last
area?
2 mornings of Quest,
So-
you just hear
Some
cows
people
every
like
morning,
a more
and
peaceful life.
they were making very, very bad noises.
Good heavens.
It's just
That's
like,
a lot of noise.
shut the hell up! It'd go till like bloody 10 or 11 in the morning. And you'd be like, Jesus Christ.
Horny
What
cow.
are you doing?
Bonking.
Being horny.
You wake up in the morning, you're not bonking, by the way. Everyone who thinks that's an idiot. But anyway.
Horny cows.
Well, I suppose there could be lesbian cows, but I guess that's about it. Anyway. You wake up in the morning, you have your breakfast, then you saddle up your 2 horses onto your wagon, start walking off and heading off towards the Black City. You're travelling by more farmland as you're going by. You're seeing more paddocks of sheep and cows, basically a lot of cattle in the area. Good portion of wool is being created, and you're seeing bales of wool being accumulated over time, and there's big square bundles of it sitting in various farm places, generally near their houses. And you were travelling by a few houses as you're sort of going along. This is like over the next couple of days type thing. You are noticing that the horizon is now starting to meet with each other, as the valley that you were travelling through is now just starting to flatten out. The creek that is coming through the centre of the town is still continuing on, but it seems to be just continuing up through the path. And you travel more, spend more time, and then you camp for the night again.
But how do we light the fire? Sorry, you know that stupid thing where you say, yes, but how did you open the door? Like, trying to get people to be more descriptive?
Okay?
No?
Digitation.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Druidcraft.
Druidcraft.
Druidcraft, precipitation.
I have a
No,
tinder
but you-
box.
Survival roll.
You light the fire next to the stone wall so it reflects the heat.
Yeah.
I have a +7 to survival. I'm damn good.
And +5.
Can I see if I can light the fire?
Oh yes, I'd like to see this.
I haven't even pulled out my dice.
If you roll a 1, you're lighting yourself on fire, just so you know.
Probably the hair with all the beeswax
No,
in it.
we
That'll
should
go up
just
quick.
do that.
That won't.
Yes, it will. Oil. It
It's
will
wax.
It's
burn. It
wax.
still burns.
Oh yes, but it didn't.
Did you roll a 1?
2.
What's the total? then?
2.
Oh, bother.
I can't light a fire. To be fair, I was probably trying to.
You decided you wanted to
You know,
sort of
you know how you've got like the flint and the rock?
Yeah.
She's trying to rock in the flint.
I figured that you didn't actually have any written on your character sheet, so you go, that's alright, I can do this. Get your 2 sticks together and
And just
start
bang them.
trying to rub them, except that you're not really thinking about it, right? And you've never done this before, so you start thinking together.
She's just like.
Yeah, for,
Say do, right?
for 4 hours.
Now, if she spends more than 10 minutes doing that, I'm just gonna I just like half look and grimace and just like snap a fire in between her sticks.
Which she went. Ah!
Throws it away and puts it out.
She just throws it. She's like, oh shit!
Alright, so you guys have camped for the evening again in the on the side of the road in the farmlands, as the valley itself is now flattening out.
Okay.
No.
Alright, night guys.
How we put Amber to sleep soon.
You chose to have that saddle, didn't you? And all those fancy things we got from the dragon's house.
Yes.
What are you going to use it for?
I don't know. I might find another pig.
Why do you want to ride the pig?
I'm only 3 feet tall.
So ride something taller that gives you the advantage of height.
Yes, but then I need the box to get onto it.
Right.
Would you like to be
Give
my
her my
traveling
shoulders.
box?
I've heard stories that paladins can just make mounts appear. Can you do that?
Yes, I can. Takes a bit of fucking around, but yes.
How about that?
Well, we better
Then
find
just have
someone
one.
to, you know.
You'd better find me someone to what? Ride?
Well, you
Sure, I'd love to ride someone.
said it. Oh, okay. Well, I guess that's what we're trying to find. Rowan, do you think we can try and, you know, find someone for Antoine?
Actually, what I'd like a stag.
What?
Prince of the Forest. I think I'd like one of those as a mount.
How big? Like
I said the Prince of the Forest, yes? Like a big stag.
like a giant elk?
Yeah.
You're not going to see one of those in your lifetime.
Oh,
They're a really special occasion.
that makes me sad. Maybe I can have a magical one.
Oh, like a regular elk instead of a giant one. Giant ones are big, like really big.
My friend, I'm small. Anything bigger than me is giant.
Okay, then a regular elk.
How big is that?
I'm about this big, and I watch it into an elk.
Turn into an elk?
Yeah, an elk.
Elk.
Yes,
Okay, yeah.
an elk, just like a regular size elk.
Do you have a rack?
A what?
A rack? No.
Antlers, yes.
Like, what planet are you from that you don't know what a fucking rack of antlers is?
I just call them antlers.
He's got a rack.
No, it's called antlers, never mind.
Okay, where's my saddle?
What? Just run away. If you can't with the saddle, I'm running away.
Oh, he ran off.
I don't understand this interaction, and just Amber walks off.
It would, but I think he's.
Hold person. I'm not like a humanoid.
I know. It was more just theory crafting.
No, you want to instead. I can't speak with animals. Look, I just want to see what it feels like. If it is too big,
Okay, but no saddle. It's very disrespectful.
but that means I can't be dismounted. It's a magical saddle. It's not just any saddle.
You're not gonna be dismounted on the side of the road. We're camping. It's gonna no saddles. It's rude.
Okay, fine. On your
Okay.
knees.
I will like bend down a bit so we can get on.
Us who can't speak with animals are listeners going,
Let's continue on. Leave them to their.
Well,
shenanigans.
Well, you can keep rolling. We'll just
I'm
catch up.
pretty good at interpreting Rowan, animal Rowan.
No.
no, I'm curious.
From what I can see... No, even I'm confused by this one.
We've probably never seen him as an elk before.
No, that's why she can't interpret him.
Wrong.
Including me.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's terrible.
19 plus 3.
23.
12.
22.
Hey, son as well.
Hello, son.
Bromance and son.
Potatoes.
Sorry, what'd you get?
You were distracted. I got
22.
82. Okay.
23.
12.
8.
9.
You three.
9.
The
As you
20s
guys-
club.
As you guys in the 20s club, as you guys are like watching this sort of scene unfold with them turning into an elk and the halfling trying to mount the elk and ride the elk and put the saddle on top of the elk. Up ahead in the path, as the valley itself is plateauing out and becoming part of the flatlands, you would notice that there's a bunch of figures on the horizon heading in your direction.
Do they look like hunters looking for elk?
Can we tell what colour they're wearing?
They're a bit too far away to see anything like that.
Guys, we should get off the road. Are we anywhere near like trees?
No, it's still pretty much an open sort of farmlands type thing. There are trees, but not huge forests.
There's no reason to get off the road. We don't know who it is. And
Yes, no, but just in case, do you have any clothing that all the clothing that I currently
right
have
past
that
the strange
would
people?
not be appreciated in
speed?
these lands?
Oh, I have a spare set of robes.
That will work fine. I just need something to cover up my armor.
Fair enough.
Can't you just like transform it into just a normal set of armor instead of
It,
using
I've got my priest robes, I've got order robes, and I've got Muslin robes or Muslin armor. So
Yeah.
it's order, priest of
but
Kalimdor.
you can just like do a very generic tabard as well. I'm pretty sure you'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
Just put a sackcloth over you, so you look like a peasant.
No, but then
No,
they-
because
then
then
they'll
they'll
think
mistake
he's
it
a
for a
Breton.
You idiots!
No, it's still peasants, whether they're under or
So
not.
yeah, I
Yeah,
have,
it's the standard everyday sort of
Okay.
just like really bland sort of beige tunic type
so
thing.
concentrate for a second, and my entire armor changes. So
Yep.
the Kalimdor symbol drops off.
Drops off, yeah. So you got no
Just a
symbolization, you got nothing.
Yeah.
So
Just
why
plain-
would
That's
they
rather
just
impressive magic. Could I study it?
And Amber is wearing
Whose
traveling
phone's that? And
clothes.
who's playing on phones?
Sure, at
I'm
some
turning the
point
sound
you
off on
could.
I'm just finding
Very
the stats for an hour.
Very curious.
It's
Okay,
something that was given to me by the head of my temple.
Right.
It allows me to blend into multiple environments.
Are they getting closer?
Spells.
Yeah, of course.
How many people are there?
There's a bunch of them. Somewhere between 6 to 12.
Does it look like they're carrying any flags or anything?
No. But we're still at a reasonable distance here.
Do they look like they're in formation?
Somewhat, yeah.
It's a bit of a problem traveling with an elk.
Can you
back
please
to
change
an
back? People are coming.
Okay, get off.
Are you just on his shoulders?
Raising!
Yes, I'm just sitting on his back.
Yes. I need to turn back. I don't want to throw you off.
Okay.
You rolled a dismount.
Yeah, athletics, man.
Okay.
Oh, acrobatics I'm 12 and athletics
Roll
I'm...
and everything, just get off.
Oh, fine.
I'm not exactly resisting the dismount.
Alright, I'll grab hold of one of your antlers and swing onto the ground.
Okay, I'll drop wild shape and just hide it in the back of the caravan.
You guys are travelling along for a little bit, probably another 10 minutes pass, and now that you're having a bit of a look, yeah, definitely formation, definitely armoured. While they don't have flag or a banner of any particular type going up, they definitely have halberds. So you see them poking above their heads type thing as they're walking by. But you can definitely see the black and yellow now.
Yeah. Damn it. That was obvious. Approximately how far off are they?
You reckon about an hour's worth of travel, if that?
Oh, okay, so there's still quite a
It's
distance.
quite a distance here, but the yellow's pretty stark contrast in this particular morning day.
Okay. I've got a question of specifics. I always imagined that our cart had like small windows in them, but it was like those kind of like your bathroom windows except wood, where it's just like slats that are just angled down.
Yep,
so if someone's like right by the cart, you can like make out shapes and stuff, but not great. Okay,
But not see specifically in there.
sure, good to know.
Gotta like stick your head near the ceiling to be able to see through the louvers.
Just
There's probably a bit of an assumption that you could probably get in close enough and look up in the slats to see a better view.
and I just wanted to know how much visibility I had of the surroundings from inside. But
You've got a decent amount here.
okay,
If you can see out and see decently, then they can also see in decently as well. So it's as simple as that.
that's fair.
But it's a case of if they're looking or not. So
I say we proceed on.
Yep.
What else do we do?
when I
Don't
say,
look suspicious.
when I say that they're probably an hour out, if that, as you notice that you're moving forward, they're also moving in your direction as well. So that hour becomes probably half an hour.
Yeah.
Within about another 10 minutes of walking closer to them, you can now definitely see armoured soldiers of Musalon with halberds, shields, and swords at their side, travelling down the road. They're not hugely in formation. They're a little bit sort of just walking together.
It's a patrol.
Patrol, yeah.
Does it look like they've got a mage with them like they did last time we saw?
No.
Okay, so this is just a soldier.
Are they human? Is the question.
I don't know
I
if
will
we
be
can
able to tell you
from
when we get closer.
Who's
As
That's
you're
right,
into
but-
within like 2 minutes,
Yep.
I'm gonna basically cast protection from good and evil on myself, and just sit there on the seat of the car, probably next to him, just sort of like watching as they come forward.
Who's planning on talking to them?
Not me.
We may not need to. A passing greeting is possibly all that we need.
Just
What?
nod
Did
and
my hat.
Okay, well, who's planning on tipping their hat at them?
Well, I will, because I'm on the guard.
Okay. I will reach out and cast enhanceability on Antoine.
tipping your
I
hat.
assume that
Take
Amber
of
was
him.
sitting next to you. At,
Some point. I mean,
Like,
I'm
no,
tiny.
like you're on the
fine.
cart, like you're directing, and she's just sitting next to
Okay.
you.
I will cast enhanceability at 3rd level to target them both and give them advantage on charisma checks for an hour.
Alright, cool.
She's not saying a word.
Well, you travel for another
Already
10 to 15 minutes, give or take, and you're getting pretty close now. You can see him pretty well.
Christmas checks.
As they're getting, once they get within 30 feet, I'm going to reach out with my sensors to see if there's any undead within the group.
If they're within 30 feet,
You can see them.
you can just see them. 30 feet's not a great distance. So
I think mine's 60
way
feet,
before you even getting that close to them, they're like, one's like waving you down from a distance.
I'll hide in the back as best I can.
Stop the cart, Antoine.
Oh,
But
again.
why?
Because they're asking.
They're
us
waving
to.
at us.
I get off the cart and walk off the road and just pull down my pants and start taking a leak. No, seriously, because
It's convenient.
Yeah, it's convenient. It looks like we're not suspicious.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair. That's fair.
Good day, monsieur. How may I help you?
Who are you?
My name is Antoine Dejeu. I'm a paladin.
Oh, of who?
Well, I used to be of, what is it? Tia. I used to be a paladin of Tia, but I've since renounced that, and now I'm more of a friend of the forest.
That is very curious. That is probably a good story for those who were in the taverns in town, in the city.
I've not yet been to your city. I think it is called... Well, I think it's the Black City, but I don't know what it's called otherwise.
No, neither do I. I should have looked into that.
If it has an actual name besides just the nickname.
Well, it used to be the Breton
Stronghold.
city.
Prior to that, it was called New Breton.
Was it?
Yeah, it was.
Okay. That's it.
Yeah, I know.
Very
On the
bland
nose.
name.
Mm-hmm.
These are people that wore potato sacks.
Well, I was not looking for an explanation on your background, but thank you for your honesty, I guess.
That is what I do, be honest.
And the rest of you, who are you?
Is friends.
Whoa.
And does his friend have a name?
I mean, he's taking a piss. You're taking a piss, aren't you?
I assume you could like do that over your shoulder.
Yeah. Hang on, just let me finish. Get back to doing
if it sounds like he's asking about the rest of us and just generally looking at us as a group, I'm gonna, in the back of the cart, wild shape into a Great Dane. And just sit in the back as a dog.
Okay.
Oh, this is my dog, stupid.
You don't know he's turned into a dog, though.
Well, yes.
I expect him to be licking the back of my head by now. So.
No. You're on the outside of the car.
Yes.
He's on the inside of the car.
I'm
No,
inside
it
being
doesn't work
quiet,
like that.
trying to...
Okay,
It's
whatever.
a cover in case they like throw open the back and we're like, what's in here then? So yeah.
Giant dog. Okay, this is my friend, what did your name again?
I am well
This is
met.
my friend Amber. She's a dwarf, obviously.
Well met. I am Turel.
Tura, can you roll me deception rolls?
God damn, we should have said you were talking.
That is a 23.
Tura, it is a pleasure to meet you.
Well met. We are heading towards the Black City, mostly for trade.
What are you trade?
Well, we're actually looking to buy, mostly.
Ah, no, well, in that case, then, do you have any, perchance, things you're looking for?
Mostly anything.
Wool, alcohols, like fine whiskies or ciders.
I
or,
was looking for some supplies as well.
Well, there's a lot of places in the Black City that you can get this type of stuff. Wool, there's a lot of wool. There's a lot of wool farmers.
Is there a lot of leather workers?
Yes, of course. There's a lot.
That is what I am most interested in at the moment.
A lot of while wool is the main trade in this particular part of the world, there is definitely a lot of cattle. You've probably already seen. I'm a bit curious though, is that you are coming from the south, a place that no one travels.
I'm walking up with my monk robes on now, and yes,
I'm like,
Have
I'm
you
gonna
heard-
say, well, we used to be gladiators, but
have you heard of Summerport?
Well, yes, I have. I've heard of some point.
There is a monk's conclave there that I am from. It is a echelon of. Well, do you know the gardens?
No, I do not know of the gardens.
Oh, the gardens there. We have a conclave where we give basically ourselves to the way of the pugilists and learn to fight without a weapon.
That is very good, but it does not explain that you have come through.
We are going to visit my family. I live up north in the Dwarven Mountains.
Well, that is very good. That is still a bit of travel ahead of you.
We've travelled very far, and we will travel very far. And
Well,
basically, the two of us. Were
I know,
just
you're trying to
playing
distract
off,
him
just
from the question,
distract
right?
and
I've never been
bullshit.
to the Black City, and it just seemed so fascinating. I couldn't resist the
Well,
urge
it's
to.
on the way anyway.
Yes,
We're going
it
to
is.
have to
And
pass
besides, you know,
While they're doing this, with my ability, am I able to tell how many in this group are undead?
Yep. No. You need to either one of you rolls. Actually, probably you because you got the advantage. Just do a. How can I do this? I'll just say it's a persuasion roll.
Yeah.
It's the closest I can think of.
14?
Well, that's pretty good.
No. Persuade. Oh no, hang on. Hang on. 13.
She actually has pluses. to this.
17.
17. Right. Yeah.
I have +4 to my persuasion.
Nice.
I can talk when I want to.
I've got
And you guys just continue back and forth with this all like this sort of
Inane bullshit.
inane bullshit. And whatnot.
But that being said, it's not all necessarily untrue bullshit, it's just bullshit.
Yeah, it's just like it's not answering the question at all, but you're explaining a lot of information to him that he doesn't have to ask particular questions anymore.
Making us seem stupid more than malicious,
Yeah,
basically.
exactly. Yeah.
Which in Emma's case is probably entirely unintentional.
just sitting here like this.
And you are? I can't remember if you gave me a name or not.
No, Volkir.
And the man who's taking the big shit in the back.
Oh, hello, I am Jonathan. Hello.
And he pretty much succeeds.
Plus 10 to deception, yes.
Yeah.
He has some bowel problems.
They have seen it to head into the taverns in the Black City itself. There's some interesting concoctions that might happen yet.
Is there any
It's why this one doesn't have a baby.
Is there any dogfighting we've got a mule?
Is there any dog fighting?
What? No! Wait! No! No, we're not. We're not.
We're not there to gamble. It's a filthy sin.
How far away are we from the Black City from here?
You were at about 2 days out, I think.
Anywhere we should go.
Depends
yes.
on what you want to do. If
What
you,
what is the best tavern?
What is the best time? Let me just load up the sheet with the information money.
Where are the guard towers and where do you
I was
all your
recommending-
people sleep?
In what quarters does the king sleeps?
Yes, where are all the important
Where is
places?
Xenofeld?
What?
Tell us exactly where all their operations are moving from.
Where is Gaston? I would like to meet
What
him.
would be the most crippling Where is the most crippling point to take out the water supply for the city?
Where's the lady? What have you done with her? What brothel is she hiding in?
Oh,
What?
So do you like stuff?
Have you heard of the Green Knight?
Should have been there on Friday night. It was sweet. We proclaimed Cullen to be the Green Knight since he was wearing armor and green. We pushed him into a fight. He died.
May I ask you a question then? Have you been to the Black City before?
I've not.
No.
This is our
I don't
first
think
time.
any of
But I
us
was
have been.
recommended the Black Rook.
The Black Rook. It is the only tavern that is left in the central market area of the Black City itself.
So my recommendations were good then. I will.
Well, it's the only one.
I mean, it means that it was, good information.
And it's...
It's not like it's a destroyed one. They didn't refer us to the crooked hamster, and it doesn't exist
It's
anymore.
not destroyed until you've had the full drinks, right?
I think the crooked
No,
I
I
think
keep it civil.
the crooked hamster is part of the thieves guild. We don't talk about that one.
Oh.
Or maybe it's the accountants guild, something like that.
I have written already for the Black City 7 pages of stuff, and I am probably a third of the way through what I've actually wrote.
Wow.
Oh yeah, there's so much stuff. So much stuff. The thing that you might want to look out for is perhaps that there is some sort of, let's call it a conclave of clerics of different faiths who have decided to take up residence in the city. At first, we thought that there would be not much of a problem, but they seem to have given a bit of light to the darkness of the Black City.
Is that a good thing or a bad one?
What gods do they follow?
There's different ones from what I remember. I've seen a couple of Lathander.
That's really not me, never mind.
I think I have seen some other ones. I'm not quite sure what the symbol is. I'm not sure if it was. I think I've seen Helm and the other one with the fist. I can't remember.
Tom.
The Gauntlet Tom. That is the one.
Oh.
I believe that they actually have a cathedral dedicated to both of them. They have decided to join forces in the cathedral, and they have the twin fists of justice. Is what they kind of call themselves.
How
What about
peculiar.
the clerics of life?
The clerics of life, the Lathanders.
Are they the ones from
No, he's
the
more
tree?
Lathander is the god of the morning and birth and...
No, I'm thinking the
You're
life
watching
clerics that were from the tree.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
The elven.
Yeah, the
god.
elven.
There is probably a left cleric there. I do not know enough. They're more the vocal ones that are there.
Where must we avoid so that we don't encounter them?
Well, why don't we want to encounter
It is not that hard to see where they are. They essentially brighten this whole city.
Oh.
in a good way or a bad one?
Look, we do our job. It is not that they are not that much of a problem. They think they're doing their godly work, and they do help, and we do appreciate the help that they give. It has made some of the lives of the peasants in the area more bearable.
Oh, so
And we do thank them for that.
so we don't want to avoid them? I'm very confused.
I don't know why you don't want to avoid them or not avoid them.
Oh.
Doesn't make any sense
The
to me,
word
but-
you worded it at the start is you actually said, unfortunately, there's some clerics who
Oh.
have taken up.
my apologies, I did not mean any slight on behalf of them.
Oh.
That looks you like I clerics here.
I
there's no
I-
obvious symbols.
I look like a completely normal
Actually,
No,
Look
no,
like-
no,
no,
mine's
fight
covered.
number
Mine's
67.
covered because she has them tattoo of Moradin on her arm, but it's covered because she's
no,
wearing
no
a...
faith people at all.
I put a poncho on you, by the way, when you weren't here, just so you know.
Okay.
I already mentioned he was from Torn. Sorry.
Yeah, fair enough.
But that he'd renounced his god.
Yeah, which is good. They are not that much of a problem. They do a lot of good work for the populace, which makes them everyone happy, I think. And that's always a good thing.
So why are you out this far?
Well, our patrols go out this far. We always make sure we have a bit of a look around. We never know if anyone is coming this way that we need to be warned of.
How
Or
far out do you go? That is a massive reach of the city.
a couple of days for the city, that's not about normal.
A couple of days means our time frame's cut down by about 2-3 days for how quickly the word spreads, because the patrols would reach sooner out is where I'm going with my logic.
It seems to make sense that you would
Yeah,
wish to patrol the lands around.
of course, of course. Oh, say hi to Bob. He has some nice wool anyway.
Who's Bob?
He's
Oh,
the farmer at the
one
end of this
farther
road.
back that way.
No, we don't go that far. Where would you want to go that far?
Oh, that is fair. It is a dot silly.
Yeah, they want to. They want to start up farms out in the Valley of Bone. Good luck to them.
It is good to know that the lands are well patrolled. It means that we are safer along these roads and less likely to be worried by bandits. Yes.
Well, we make sure that the bandits are well looked after. You know what I mean?
Does this road have any other problems than bandits?
No, it is not.
Is there any points of interest along this road?
This is more farmlands in this town, and you will get to the Black City itself. I think the Black City is the black jewel of the area.
And what of the shantytown? Should we try to avoid it as much as possible?
Yeah. Refugees from various wars that have come into the areas have decided to make up shop outside of the town, and the nobles do not like just random people coming into our town. We are a refined town, you know? We do not let
Is
anyone
there-
just come in.
Does that mean there is like a fee to enter the town?
A what, sorry?
A fee, like a tax or a
Of
toll?
course
A
of
toll,
course
is
it
there?
is. We always make sure that the people coming into town are useful. And if you've got money, that
Oh,
means
so
you're useful.
upstanding, quality members of society.
Yes.
That's fair enough.
Yes, not the poor rebel that lives outside.
Yes. I mean, there are people who are poor in the town itself, but they have been living there long enough that they are allowed to stay.
Okay, so they were wealthy and now they are poor, so they're left alone.
No, very much, yes.
Okay.
They serve their purpose. Like, not everyone can be high and noble and look after. We need the people to
Scrub the floors
Scrub
and
the floors,
empty the
exactly,
latrines,
and-
yes.
exactly. You know exactly.
They
what
need their servers and their waiters. They're important jobs.
What time of day is it, approximately?
It was actually in the morning when you guys got this, so about getting close to lunchtime.
We should probably move anyway. We want to be closer to the city by night.
There's probably one thing I keep forgetting to mention is that you're feeling the breeze pick up every once in a while. It's sort of like you're getting probably because you've been gusts of wind, and they've been traveling for a while, like for a good half hour, then it dies down for a little bit, and then kicks back in again. You can definitely feel there's a change coming, like a storm. But it's like over a few days type thing.
Foreboding.
I do apologize anyway. I do not mean to be rude, but we really must move. We want to be.
That's
Do you feel that wind? There is a storm coming. The quicker we are to a tavern, the better.
That is true, my friend. That is true.
Anyway,
Sorry, you don't need to use Druidcraft. I approximate that the storm will hit just exactly as we reach the
You mean next week?
Woof.
Anyway,
Do not mock the GM.
Shut up in there.
Anyway, it is greatly appreciated.
Don't you be
all the
fucking chewing on the
information.
furniture, I'm going to slap you. Slap you nut.
Just, my friends, are you rich? Are you wanting to go into the Black City?
Sorry?
Are you rich? Do you have the means to get into the
Oh,
Black
I
City?
think we are probably quite
Well,
wealthy.
how rich do you need to be? I
Do
think
you have 10 gold pieces to your name?
10? Ha! I shake the bag and then I pull out 10 and toss it to him.
Suddenly they pull all their swords out.
Oi.
I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
I pull out 10 and toss it to him. Now you are rich too, right? And I put my
He kind of like looks at it, like looks at you. You know, that ain't right. That ain't true. That ain't true.
I apologize, friend. I do not mean to be rude when I do that. It's just,
No, I think you get it.
yeah,
I think
of course,
you get it, you know.
of course.
It's been a pleasure. Is there anything else more before we head on? Do you know anything
Yes,
about-
one question. Is there anything that we should particularly see if we're interested in the arcane of the Black City?
The arcane of the Black City. Well, I'm glad you asked. There is, if you can get into the Nobles District, if you're allowed into it, because that is another walled section of the city itself. Not all of the guards even can get into that particular part of the world. You have to be on a special list for that one, but it is, there is one particular block in the area. There's a heap of places, heap of nobles' mansions in that particular district, as well as the richer religions that are not associated with the section of light. But there is definitely a place you might. It's colloquially called the Spire.
Spire.
It's a large circular stone tower of black stone inside the Lord District. It is like a 10-story building. It is very tall. It is the tallest one beyond the palace itself.
Ah. And also, I've heard from a druid friend from very years ago that you had some skilled druids in the city. Are they still there?
Oh, no.
I don't know of any druids in the city.
Oh, maybe my friend was wrong. That is all right. I shall see when I get there. It is greatly appreciated.
Well, I hope you find your fortune in the Black City and go from there.
I hope your patrol is, well, not boring, but, you know,
Uneventful.
uneventful.
And I hope your day is fruitful and uneventful as well until you get to the Black City, and hope you'll find what you need to find in your travels. And I say, bid you adieu.
Adieu.
Thank you, my friend.
Au revoir.
Good day.
Au revoir. And then They basically just head off, continue on down the path for a bit.
I found the trick to dealing with low charisma. Bribe them before you need to.
Like, shut up, stupid. Bloody mutt chewing on all the furniture.
I do agree with waiting till they're out of earshot.
Calling the dog stupid is a throwback to Steve Martin movie, The Jerk.
They're just like an inch of drool in your chest bed.
Along with everything else that's in there.
Wait
like,
until they're out of earshot.
no,
Yep.
thanks.
I do believe it is wise, as Amir said, to not use our real names here.
No real names.
As we moved away, I just like take this like big breath and
Just sigh and
out.
relax, yeah.
And as I sigh, my clothes change back into my carnival kit, and I'm just like,
Why don't you just leave that off? You don't know who's watching. It's like a switched right, or do you need to focus on it?
it depends.
Just leave it.
My problem
I
is
feel more
there has
comfortable
been
like this.
there has been enough lies in my life. I do not wish to perpetuate more.
I understand, but
Like I understand this need for secrecy,
if
but
news of what happened comes to this town, now they know that you are here.
well, I don't know that I used my name in the last
Don't
town.
lie. I'm a terrible liar too. But did you see me and Amber misdirected to the point they didn't even
You
ask
were
my name?
arrested. in
And
the
it was
last
just
town.
like, I was just talking.
They had my name.
What
Yes.
do you mean?
We did?
You were
What?
questioned
Don't worry.
by me.
That's just what Emma does. She just irrelevantly answers questions, and that's
Did
who
you tell
she is.
your superiors though?
Yeah.
I had 2 guards with me,
And
so even if I didn't tell them, they would have told.
who were they going to tell?
The captain of
Why?
the guard.
You were in charge of them. They wouldn't tell the captain anything.
No, we killed him anyways.
No, we didn't.
The captain of the
No,
guard.
he
escaped.
managed to teleport
teleported
away.
away.
We were going to try and
He
kill him.
forgot that much, haven't you?
We caused a lot of hate, mate.
There was a lot of chaos.
It
And we
is
did
best
not solve
to
our
think
loose
of
ends
going into the Black City.
as hostile territory.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm just
It
gonna.
is not going to be safe to use your normal
myself.
names.
That's probably a good plan. Also,
Okay. I shall
much?
name myself Pierre.
much really,
What?
much really.
Oh, yes, behaving like a nut.
I was being.
You
Oh,
had a lot
woofing
of
and
names
chewing
that
out the
you were working
furniture.
on
I
last
could
week.
hear you.
Well, not last week, the week
We
before.
have spare hammocks.
Definitely.
Was it?
I was like,
Don't we have that
I
list
just pull
of
up a
names
piece of
that he was
canvas out of my
working on
mouth.
for everyone?
I have chosen a name.
We should.
We probably have 2 less days than estimated, so I would say we have 3 days before one of their patrols runs into some messenger from Montanoil.
Okay.
I shall call myself
Which means we
Pierre.
probably only have a night, maybe 2, in the Black City before we're found out.
I can't call myself Pierre von Chateau because that is not quite right.
Chateau.
Yeah, no,
Pierre
that's
von
the fond
Chateau.
part that is wrong.
Yeah, von Chateau.
I mean, you can call yourself whatever you want.
This is true.
I don't know what to call myself.
I will stick with Tyrell for now.
I
I call you
haven't.
Bob.
No.
What is it? Terrell?
Tyrell.
It doesn't matter,
Like a
just
title.
use a different name every time. As long as you're quick, it will work.
I'm not.
We'll start being quick.
I find it is good to build a character.
Okay.
You can be more convincing if you have a bit of a background.
I don't know. Let's move anyway.
Okay. I'll be bow.
Bow.
Yeah, like the bow of a tree. I like it.
That's terrible.
Very well then. Bow.
Ratio.
What?
Pierre, bow. Tyrell.
Instead of calling you trunk. Stick.
I just nudge
Bark.
Antoine. Move.
Bark.
I meant
Oh yes,
nudge
we're calling you
Antoine.
Bark.
Nudge Antoine and get you to move the horses on. We'll do it.
Yep. Done.
The horse moves on, and you travel along the road a bit more. The afternoon starts becoming darker as the sun starts setting across the horizon. Before the sun does, you see in the distance what looks like a tower. It's a small tower. It's a stone tower, probably about 2 stories high, with a third roof platform up on the top. And there's obviously some guards at the top, keeping an eye out in the general area. And you come by, the path is really leading right beside it, and you're approaching this thing.
Oh, we didn't ask the guards their names so that we could pass this checkpoint just by saying we've already seen XYZ. Oh well.
We're approaching a tower?
I just raise a
Got that.
hand like that and then look back down.
It's
Good
like,
enough.
just wave.
How long between the guards and the tower?
Sorry?
How long in terms of time between the guards and the tower?
What do you mean?
Like,
Most of the day, so about 6 hours.
Cool.
Yeah, we're traveling a bit.
short rest, regain the wild shapes.
Settle.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, Jesus.
Just in case, who knows? I just want to be able to turn into things too. I like it.
No, it's not a short rest because you didn't say. No, I'm kidding.
I actually got myself a Jean-Pierre Bouchard.
Bouchard?
Bouchard.
What's a bouchard?
I have no idea.
I believe it's a type of cake.
Which is probably appropriate.
Maybe I could call myself Jean-Pierre Ménage à Trois.
Ooh la la.
But hang on, who's the third person?
Don't you worry. Never you mind.
Oh, the horse, right? I get it.
Yeah.
Jean-Pierre.
You
the
leave,
fourth.
you leave Hay and Ho out of this.
Alright. For all
Oh,
intents and purposes,
Jean-Pierre. Luca.
you guys will be arriving on Black City next week.
Yay.
As you feel the pitter-patter of rain.
Oh, that was right then.
Yeah, pretty much.
I catch
As a cloud comes over and blocks the sunlight that's coming through. But it's only a very brief moment that it happens. But you camp for the night on the side of the road. Start up another fire, cook up some more meat and whatever else that you've got your hands on. And have your rest for the night. Have your watches for the night. During one of your watches, probably the middle one, you probably see another patrol just come by and they just wave as you come through.
Yes, I cast Druidcraft to check the weather forecast.
Yes, it's definitely being appropriately stormy
Tomorrow?
tomorrow.
Okay. Excellent.
And on that note, we are going to finish up for the night. As next week, we approach the rest of the Black City that I write out.
It's been a year, man.
It has been.
We were
well,
going-
It hasn't quite been a year actually. That's why, like, part of my thing next week is like because it is like the last part of the final act. Sorry, of this act, not final act. Sorry, Act 1 ends at the end of Black City essentially. So next week we'll be going through everything as part of my intro.
Oh.
And so I'm going to try and hopefully not get interrupted.
Okay.
Maybe do some prep. And,
Yeah, I will. Like,
Shall I suggest a gag?
Yeah.
And ask if there's anything that we as players might want to include. Because, like,
No, I'll think of it.
yeah, I'm sure we all had some fun moments along the way.
But yes, that'll all be next week as we travel into Black City. When I say this is the last part of Act 1, the Black City itself is still going to take a fair chunk of time to get through.
Of course.
There is so much stuff happening in the Black City.
As long as
In
as
fact,
long as
actually, as you guys camp for the night and it starts to get darker and it comes to the point in time when you put the fire out and there's no longer any of that light backing from your fire as you start to pack up for the night to sleep, you see on the horizon a bright light.
Like a pillar of white light.
Not a white light, probably like a giant fire.
Hey
That
guys,
orange glow of a giant torch or something like that across the horizon.
I thought the city burnt down years ago.
it is not flickering. I think that is just the light from the city.
I'm chancing, sir. I'm not.
This place gives me the heebie-jeebies the longer we're here and the closer we get.
Why is it so bright?
I'm guessing it's a big city, like 10,000,
You know Salaport?
50,000 souls. I
Yeah.
don't know.
That's like a tiny town compared to the Black City.
Oh no, more
There's not a lot of
civilization.
living stuff in there. You're probably not going to like it very much.
No, I much prefer not being in cities.
Bring lots of seeds.
I will.
Stop convincing him to do stupid shit.
I already have plans, it's okay.
I don't have to convince him of anything. He's stupid all on his own.
You pack it in for the night, you sleep, you do your watches, and in the morning you head off to the Black City. And on that note, I shall see everyone next week as we start the Black City itself.
Au revoir.
This is gonna be nuts.
It is going to be nuts.
Oh boy.
Hopefully
Interesting.
we...
It's going to be the accumulation of many accidents to get you on this plot.
Maybe I could be Jean-Pierre Cousteau.
Jean-Pierre Cousteau, yeah. that would
Amber
work.
Shelby.
Bavillier.
Maybe I'll tell you next week.
Amber's like, oh, it's the end of the D&D stream.
Amber.
I'm going to call Amber.
Jean-Pierre Bourgeois.
Oh la la, Jean-Pierre Bourgeois.
Yes, Bromance, join us next week as we start up the Black City, and I will try and do the best I can to do like a
Jean-Pierre
big,
Picard.
massive catch up how they got here in the first place.
Oh, big guy.
Because it'll be
Catastrophe.
Catastrophe.
After catastrophe.
Jean-Luc Picard.
After catastrophe.
That's D&D, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, this
Why
could
we
either
love
go
it.
really well or really bad.
I've got my new name.
So,
I'm a Jean-Luc Picard.
this session and last session, I've basically been playing the new character's personality because I want to secrets. Is it better? I like it. I think it's way
We'll talk after.
Can I kill his old character?
Thanks very much for sticking around, man. It's good to see you come onto the stream. Love your work. And actually, I would just like to say thank you to everyone
Yeah,
else
thanks
who's
for
also stuck on the stream.
Popping in.
Thanks to Maddie Morgan. I know he's not on anymore. He's probably gone to bed because he stayed
Thanks
up
to
really
Kit,
late.
because I saw her name in the list.
Yes.
Thanks to everyone who
So
comes
basically
along.
thanks to everyone who comes along. We love this. We love
Especially those who keep coming back. We love you, especially. You know, just that little bit more.
It's gonna get.
Sorry.
Next week starts the final part of Act 1, which is the Black City itself. In the lore of the LARP world that we came from, just for those who are watching and have gotten this far, it is the city of vampires?
Yeah. Vampires and undead.
Undead, yeah.
Undead.
Like they
Kinda like
count
a-
themselves as lords of the
They're
earth.
more vampires than anything
But
else.
it is kind of like a bit of
Only
a
the hierarchy
masquerade type thing happening
Yeah,
as well.
it's-
Everyone else are just undead soldiers. that
Sorry,
were
you're
raised
right. It's
recently.
more, they're all undead except the leaders of vampires.
It's like-
the city of undeath.
In terms of aesthetics, it's like late French medieval, early Renaissance. So there's more like class and style in the way they're dressing.
Exactly.
So Amber's decision to clean up was probably a good one. Unwittingly.
I need to figure out if I can dye my hair.
Anyway, see you all next week. And thank you all for coming along.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Au revoir.
Love you.